All right, Maddie, you still with me? I apologize, folks. Unfortunately, when we were trying to fix the stream delay, it ended up crashing the stream. We had the 10-minute delay, and it shut everything down 10 minutes later. But we should be back now. I think we're only going to be streaming to YouTube at this point. But again, we should be
Yeah,
back.
we tried both. We tried Twitch
Yeah.
only. Now we're gonna try YouTube only. We're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, but we will still be on a 10-minute delay. That's the tough part with streaming with a delay is like we can't just like turn the stream off and turn it back on because
Mhm.
there's that like 10-minute buffer. But yeah, I think for whatever the reason, not only us but a lot of the players are having internet connectivity problems today. So just sort of a weird
It's a
thing
weird
that's
day.
been going
Yeah,
on.
maybe everybody's on the internet today, and there's just not enough bandwidth to go around. Getting back into the game, though, we do have the gameplay pulled back up. We're waiting for a little bit of a development here. We do see the Jolteon online. Pikachu's going on the bench with at least one energy, and that Zero Aura still is alive somehow.
Yeah, and it's going to be the only thing that can really combat the Oricorios, right? Unfortunately, we have 2-0 Aura in the deck list, but other than that, the rest of UFO's deck is literally just Jolteon EX and Pikachu EX,
So
which are very strong Pokemon. Like, it'll be able to KO a Magnezone
yeah,
and things like that. But here's the Pokemon Center lady, and we're running Giant Capes. That's the thing about this
this is
Magnezone deck is
essentially
it's
game
as far
over,
as
is it not?
Oricorio decks go. What's up?
I said I think this is essentially game over here with the heal
Yeah.
and the cape on the Oricorio. With him only having one other Zero Aura, I don't believe he's going to have enough gas in the tank to get around 2 Zero
No.
Auras.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's got double Oricorio here, so he is playing like one Sabrina in his deck,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, like the Pikachu on the back line can one hit KO a Magnezone, but if you're not able to take the first KO in an Oricorio, then you're just going to be kind of behind the entire game, which is sort of the unfortunate
Exactly. Yeah,
aspect of
even
things
hitting
here.
into the Oricorio first matters quite a bit.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, this is definitely sort of a very binary matchup that like it really just depends on what players have sort of at their disposal. And yes, if you're new to the stream, the quality here of the game is a little bit low. We have to just use people's Discord streams because there's no spectate mode in the game, and people from all over the world probably having some difficulties with their internet as well. So not a super ideal scenario. We're doing the best we can with what we have available to us.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
just
Some of these people are streaming just off their phones and just off of like the data off their
right.
phones, so it's not like they're on some super high speed connection on a computer. We do see the opponent concede there. I think they realized they were pretty much locked in with those Oricorios and too far behind to get up another Zero Aura.
Yeah. Nope, definitely. It's tough. Like whenever you're playing against Oricorio, like games kind of go like that sometimes where, if your options that you have available to you to deal with Oricorio like get compromised early on, then it just the game immediately
That's it.
becomes
Yeah, there
just
goes your win condition.
right. You kind of win games without like having the necessary prizes or board states. It's just like, oh, like
Well,
yeah, like
and it's like
no
you were
point to keep
mentioning at
playing.
the beginning of this round here, I think right before we got cut off, unfortunately, but you were saying that it's kind of surprising that a deck like this was able to get as far as it was, just not having very, very well of a way to deal with Oricorios. I don't know if they
Right.
maybe managed, I didn't check their match list here, but I don't know if they maybe managed to just dodge Oricorios throughout the day.
Yeah, it looks like he's played one Oricorio and lost that matchup. And
Yeah,
then the next time he's playing
that might
Oricorio
be a
is
little
in,
telling
in
there
here
then,
in top
huh? Yeah,
32. Yeah, but I mean he's played a lot of different decks in one, right? Beat a couple of
absolutely.
Blazikins, beat several Altarias, Absol decks. So, this could be a deck that has certainly some power to it, maybe in non-Oricorio matchups. But we actually saw this, I think, last weekend. There was like a Blaziken Entei deck, or there was a Blaziken deck that maybe didn't play anything to deal with Oricorio and made it like all the way to top 8 last weekend.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of surprising how some decks can sneak through into Top Cut.
yeah,
Sometimes they end up being good. I know, like with the Magnezone deck, the one that we're watching right now, for instance, this kind of came out of nowhere in one tournament, and then it won a tournament. The player, I believe, went like 10-0, maybe even more. But either way, they had like an undefeated streak, and everybody completely hopped on this Magnezone deck. So. It's kind of strange how sometimes these decks come out of nowhere, they end up working, and then they like essentially create a
yeah.
fad or a trend.
Yeah, no, 100%, right? Tournaments are a little bit different. It's kind of the same as well with ranked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember people in previous seasons like would play like Charizard and just not have anything in their deck for Oricorio, and they just
Mm-hmm.
hoped that they didn't hit Oricorios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like from a just from a mathematical perspective, all you really needed to do was win, X amount of your games, right? So if
Yep.
let's just say only 10% of your games are against Oricorio, maybe you just play the math and you say, well,
I've noticed that
I'm
as
not
well
gonna count
too.
for it.
Some players, even like S1 Gun, I consider him to be the world's number one ranked
Yeah,
player. He's hit number one
sure.
multiple times. But either way, I've watched some of his gameplay before, and he kind of suggests the same thing. Where in ranked, you don't necessarily want to tech for like Oricorio, because how often are you running into an Oricorio deck realistically? He
Mhm.
says, also that he had like enough like Sabrina and ways to get around an Oricorio, not necessarily deal with the Oricorio itself. But there was enough
Yeah.
ways to get around the Oricorio, and in ranked, that works. In tournament play, I'd say it's a little different. You lose one match in Top Cut against an Oricorio, and there goes your
And
run.
then it's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Saigon as well, like the number one ranked player. Like I think eventually, like the players, and I think there's like some type of like agreement too. Like the players who are climbing so quickly and ranked,
Hmm.
oftentimes like they don't play Oricorio just because of the slower pacing of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just becomes not like
Yeah,
a
it
viable.
becomes
If you're
kind of a
trying to play like
disrespectful
5,000
thing, I would
ranked.
say. You're right.
Right. You're like, yeah, you're just slowing everybody down, which, at the lower ranks, you're going to see more often, but at the higher ranks, like there
Hmm.
probably isn't even that much over choreo, to be honest with you. Um, but taking a look at the game here, we do see the Zero Aura finally come down. That Jolteon is now in the active spot, but is, taking some damage here from this Oricorio, and the Cyrus is in hand, which is scary, right? So once this Jolteon gets brought up, or sorry, once this Jolteon retreats, which he's going to have to here. Actually, he's not going to. He's just going
Ooh,
to elect
opting
to
with the
E-core here. Do we
electrical
see the Sabrina?
cord.
We see the
Oh,
Sabrina.
okay. This was a
Okay,
play.
so a little. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's going to be able to take a point here, and then cycle those energies, to his bench Pokemon. I do like this, and again,
That
this is
ended up
like
being a lot better play than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were just going to see
right.
a dead Jolteon and nothing to go about it. But no, he's going to be able to move the
Yeah,
energy, get a point out of it.
yeah, yeah. I think E-Cord's very unexplored electrical cord tool card in
Hmm.
this metagame right now. Again, not many people playing Guzma, and it is an extraordinarily strong card. I
Absolutely.
was playing. Yeah, I was playing like Mega Ampharos earlier in the season with it. And in previous seasons, like playing Raikou as well. Like, there's a lot of strong strategies with playing Electrical Cord, and it
Hmm.
does enable a lot of different decks. But unfortunately, sometimes you just get Guzman and the game's over, which obviously isn't great. But also partly, I guess, like there's a lot of bench damage slash Cyrus stuff going around,
Yeah,
so it's probably not even that that
that's true too. If you end up losing it on the bench, it does no good.
right. And if you go down to like Rocky Helmet or Poison Damage or Burn, in the
Exactly.
case of Blaziken, it also doesn't pop, right? So the Jolteon E-Cord stuff does seem really good, but especially into Blaziken, like at face value, like it really
Hmm.
isn't doing anything. You know what I mean? Like it's just not going to do anything for you, which is tough, right? Because Jolteon just has 140 HP. So I think that's probably one of the bigger aspects of Jolteon, is that you kind of want to keep it so you don't go down to Blaziken, but then
Yep.
is it really that great? Plus like it also only the effect only works for Jolteon if it's the energy comes from the energy zone, right? So anything
Generating
like an
energy elsewhere or swapping energy around. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah. So it's not a bad card by any stretch. And he's just going to concede there pretty
Oof.
quickly. Yeah, he just knows there's nothing to do. I think that's just a really tough matchup there in top
That was
32
very unfortunate.
for UFO.
Yeah, we were able to see the Oricorios get online very early and kind of just terrorize UFO. Unfortunately, he didn't really have much of an answer with having to rely on those Zero Auras. And in
Yeah.
game two, there that Zero Aura showed up way late even. So tough spot to
Well,
be in.
it's all good. We can do a little reset here, right? Because we did kind of restart the streak right in the middle of it. So we're probably going to be picking up here at top 16. So I actually edited the YouTube title to say top 16
Okay.
specifically. So yeah, so hopefully when the stream comes live here, because we're still waiting on that 10-minute
Yep.
buffer. Once
Should
it
be in
comes
about
live
1 minute.
here, okay, awesome. So once it comes live here, we'll see how the connection is. And I apologize to everybody again. We tried to go only YouTube. We tried to go only Twitch. Like none of them really worked, or tried to do both. Didn't work very well. So we restarted the whole system. Unfortunately, wasn't really able to show you guys much of top 64, top 32. The last three games were, to be fair, like pretty one-sided. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But shout out to all of these players. So we're going to do a little bit of a reset here. I'm gonna reach out to Lamp, our head judge, and I'm going to let him know that we're gonna just try to. I guess he's just in the chat. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
So I don't have to type to him. We're gonna do like a little reset. So anybody that kind of goes into top 16, if you don't mind, just sort of pausing it all right now, and we'll kind of just restart the stream. We'll do another little intro, and we'll go from there. I also want to let give people the opportunity to kind of join in. So it looks like the YouTube is finally kind of going live right now. Perfect. Okay.
I will
so
say,
now
Maddie, it's looking a lot better on my end.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. All right. So
apologize,
let
guys,
me.
or apologies. Excuse me.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just let everybody know. Okay. All right. Let's give people a couple of minutes to come in here. I apologize for that. It's just there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was causing that issue. Very unfortunate though. I'm hoping we've got it fixed up.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how this rides out here. People are going to start funneling into YouTube. And I'll just let everybody know kind of what's going on here. But yeah, so we're back, guys. We're back, and hopefully, from top 16 onward, things just go a little bit more smoothly. It's not anything. It's not anybody's fault. It's not my fault. It's not Jay's fault. It's not, it's just like at the end of the day, like there's so many things out of our control. So,
yeah,
I appreciate
guys.
everybody. Yeah, I appreciate everybody sticking in here. Hold on. Yeah, Lamp. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a reset here, Lamp. So just like pause top 16 for now, and then we'll let some people come back in, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah, we're gonna be trying to go just YouTube only from this point on, and whether it works out or not, to be fair, there's just nothing else that we can do. So,
Maddie, real quick before we start up, do you mind if I gotta go run and grab my dog real quick? Take me just like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
perfect. Give me 1 sec.
Yep. Oh, all right, guys. Oh, listen, we just want to bring the stream to you guys. We want you guys to be able to watch. Of course, that's part of the fun here with the tournaments is the platform, right? Being able to put the games and the players on display. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a big reason why we do it. So, I know it might not be like the most ideal scenario in terms of the lag and whatnot, but, we're going to try our best. So, apologize to everybody who views on Twitch. We're just going to be trying to ride out the rest of the tournament here, top 16 onward, over on YouTube. Been a lot of fun, though. So, again, once Jay gets back, he'll be able to control what's on the screen here. But we do have a top 16 match ready to go here. We're going to have Lamp, our head judge, get this all set up for us. But taking a look at the standings here, a lot of variety kind of moving up here into top 16, top 32, right? We do still have some Heatmor Blaziken, but, a lot of like Hydreigon, a lot of, Altaria. Like these are the more consistent decks. I think there's definitely a balance here. Lamp says he doesn't have a match yet. It's all good. We'll wait until we do. All right. There's no stress here. We're just gonna go here. Whatever the next top 16 match is. What's up, Jay? What's going on?
Okay. I kind of overheard you there. It looks like Lamp was still trying to find us a match. So.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if a couple of matches I guess are already going on in top 16. So, whatever the next match that starts up for top 16, then we'll just go ahead and we'll just pick that one up. So we'll hang out here for a little bit, and we'll pause and we'll ride there. He said he is grabbing a match here, which is pretty good. Cool. So there you go. I know it's not ideal, but we'll get right into it, and I'm excited. 750 people again this weekend.
Absolutely crazy turnout. I'm loving these tournament series. I'm loving what it's doing for the community, and how it's providing an outlet. I think also I'm a big believer that these tournaments set the meta. So when we do see ranked start up in what 12 days? Is it 12 days away? Something like that?
Yeah,
11
just
days
about.
Away? Either way, when we do see ranked start up, I think these tournament series are going to be heavily influential on what decks you're going to be seeing ran in those ranked games. So again, I love being here. Love seeing these games. I appreciate the opportunity to host it with you. Again, I think this is the first time you and I have actually got to work together. So this is again a pleasure to be here. I am also super excited to watch the finale here.
Oh yeah, top 16 onward. It looks like we do have a match. It's going to be Nast Khan, who is playing Suicune Greninja with Greninja EX against Terabai G, one of the top players. He's always topping at our tournaments here, and he's also playing that Hydreigon Mega Absol Chingling deck. So this is going to be yet another very interesting matchup. Our first top 16 match here. Although we are waiting for Terra to appear here.
Okay, that's
You
perfect.
might
I'm
be
gonna get
taking a
everybody
little bit
pulled
of a
up here
break.
on the Twitch stream.
Yep. Yeah,
Or
it's
excuse me,
table 8 there
the
in top
YouTube
16.
stream. We're not on Twitch today.
That's right. Yeah, only on YouTube now. But hey, at least we have it. At least we have. At least we
Yeah,
have a stream.
apologies, guys. I'm not sure. Now, I think I'm leaning towards it was actually internet related. Because I don't know what the hell else it could have been there, but that's I don't know.
Yeah,
Hopefully
sometimes when you dual stream.
What's up?
Yeah, sometimes when you dual stream, like it's just tough. Like your internet might get throttled.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, sometimes it does just not like that extra bandwidth.
So Nast Con says he is streaming on in the Discord.
Is he
so
on
I don't
Discord?
know what his Discord
You see
name is.
him?
Oh yeah, he is right there. Yep, I see his perspective. So let's hop on over there, and they'll get their match, top 16 match, ready
Awesome.
to go.
I'll meet you there.
Greetings.
Awesome. All right, getting them pulled up now.
Perfect. Yep, and Lamp, we can let him know. I appreciate Lamp, our head judge, doing absolutely the most today, dealing with so many things all at once. He is absolutely carrying the squad.
I'm sure he's dealing with a lot of harassment
Connectivity
questions.
problems.
Why is the stream not looking good? Sorry, Lamp.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
I get it.
If I was the
too.
viewers, I would want the stream.
Yeah,
as well,
right. Fix it now. I'm mad too, you guys. Don't worry, I'm right there with you.
Right. For sure. But yeah, man, let's do it. So looks like they're going to be searching for their match here. This is our first top 16 matchup. And we will be continuing all the way into grand finals here, hopefully without any issues. There might be some, slight lag issues. I don't know on YouTube, but we're going to just ride it out.
We're going to have to ride it out, unfortunately, guys.
Yeah, there's just nothing else we can do. And yeah, both players are ready, so they're going to be starting up here soon. And yeah, so Suicune Greninja versus Hydreigon Absol with that Chingling, right? So the Chingling core here, very interesting, but also just very good into so many things. Like, it's crazy that like Chingling entered into the metagame, became super prominent, and then mostly all of the decks at the top of the meta are also still rare candy decks, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of funny. Like, it's funny how this metagame has really worked out. But I think the main difference with the Absol Hydreigon deck, to be fair, is that at least Absol is a pretty significant attacking option. That's not a rare candy Pokemon, right? So even if like the Hydreigons you get locked out of, you can still go into Absol and do something. And Suicune's the same way, right? Suicune is the same way. You can attack with Suicune, you can attack with Giratina. Sure, the Greninjas are important, but they're not sort of the core, attacking aspect of your deck. Whereas with Blaziken, it is really.
It is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, both players still searching here. Let's see. There we go.
There we go.
All right, we're in it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do it. Finally ready to get going here.
Into it. Top 16, I believe it is, right?
Yes, sir. Top 16. Suicune Greninja Nascon versus Terabai G, playing Hydreigon and Absol and Chingling. I think Chingling has really ended up being kind of the thing that most people are pairing with Absol, right? Because like originally it was like the Oricorio Pichu combo, which could front load the deck enough to allow Absol to come in later in the game and kind of sweep up. But now I think that Oricorio is a bit on the decline and Chingling is really everywhere, and I think that's just sort of the progression right now of Absol here. But yeah, we're gonna see Nask here with the research right off the bat. No other basics other than the Suicune in the active spot, and he is going first. Whereas Fulgur here is going to be going second with that Absol in the active spot, Jay. Now, I want your opinion on something right now.
Yes.
Which is, when you're going up against Suicune, Absol, the only, like, the lone Absol in the active spot, it ends up being actually not that bad, right? So in this scenario here, do you bench anything, or do you think you can actually just win this game by attaching to Absol and just start hitting for 80 like turn after turn?
You make
right?
a good point
like
there, and he is in an interesting spot where he has the energy advantage by going turn 2, so he'll be able to attach first.
Okay,
he does opt to put things on the bench, but yes, that is an interesting scenario. I guess if he does end up getting the evolution there and then filling up the bench, they end up doing 80 damage to you. So it kind of gets to be, it's definitely a risk.
He's playing double X speed.
Yeah,
playing double X speed, right? So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
it is.
But
Yeah.
he also knows here that like he's able to Rocky Helmet and 2-hit KO this week and kind of no matter what, right?
Hmm.
Which is going to be definitely kind of like a valuable thing here. But the Greninja comes down turn 2, and this is going to put a lot of pressure, especially on this Absol, and it's going to market for Cyrus. Now, one thing to note here is that Nascon is playing double Cyrus in his deck, and he's actually going to use one right off the bat to bring up the Dino, which is a crazy play here. Very, very interesting play. Using one of those Cyruses, which can be so valuable as win conditions later in the game. He's going to use one immediately because he knows, I guess, that if he didn't do that, Absol would have just maybe attacked, and then discarded
That's
that
always
Cyrus
my
anyway.
fear too. Is it's kind of a use it or lose it scenario whenever Absol's on the board, especially when he's got one energy already attached to the Absol. Basically, it's ready
Right.
to go and start stealing those cards away from you. So
Use it or lose it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean double X speed though. So I mean, what are we really doing by making this play, right? Hoping he doesn't have one of those X speeds in his deck, because you're about to get smacked regardless here. Or you could just rare candy
or
and
we
win a
see the
Hydreigon.
helmet rare candy. Yeah, I think he is opting to just sacrifice the
Rare candy
Dino here,
headbutt.
put enough damage
The rare
on
candy
the
headbutt.
Suicune.
Yeah, this is a interesting place to be in, right? Because now, if I'm asked, like, do I pop that Irida maybe preemptively? Do I like go cape Irida and just kind of sit at
Yeah.
160? Do I cape and not Irida?
Terra,
Because
you're right.
technically
Kind of
now we're at
Terra forcing them to
140.
play their support cards early. These are valuable support cards that later in the
Right.
game, you may end
You
up
got to
needing
play it.
these. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't play it, then you lose it, right?
That is
Use it
true
or
too,
lose it.
though.
So,
You are again on a use it or lose it scenario. So you either play it
but
now, or
he is playing double Irida.
so we do have
He's
another
playing double
Irida in the
Irida.
deck.
And if we
Okay.
see, yeah, and if we see another Irida come down, then all of a sudden this Absol here, well, I guess it doesn't really matter that much, right? Because, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because with the Rocky Helmet, you're getting 2 at KO regardless, I
Yeah,
suppose.
I think
But
that
that
I think
pressure,
you're right there with the helmet. It does negate that 40 heals from Irida, unfortunately. We do see Nascon take the first point here.
yep, yeah, so he's going to take that point here into the Absol. It probably doesn't matter that much, quite frankly, right? Because you're going to have to KO this Absol regardless, or you can't win the game. So he's going to burn the X speed here. So he might have the Hydreigon ready to go.
Oh,
He's actually going to X speed and then copycat. He's going to get 5 new cards. So I think what he's hoping to do here is draw into that rare candy Absol or rare candy Hydreigon,
absolutely.
and then come in and potentially, but it's not going to take the KO on this weekend, which is tough. But the other thing you got to mention too is that neither people right now have a lot of Pokemon on their bench, right? So
No, so I was
he's
gonna
going
say,
to
I think a Hydreigon could maybe even survive the hit if it does
yeah, right.
happen to show up.
But he
We
just
don't
doesn't
see
have
that.
it. So he's got to just hit the Suicune here, which obviously isn't super ideal. He is setting up a KO. So okay. So the scenario here really isn't that bad. It might
No.
look like Nast is definitely in the lead, but if Suicune hits into this Absol, right, it's only going to be doing like 60 damage, right? And if the Hydreigon does come out in the following turn, then he's already down 1 Cyrus, he's already down 1 Irida. Oh, that Froakie could be
This
really
is gonna
big,
make a
actually, that
difference here,
damage.
I'd say.
Yeah, and he has the rare candy Greninja in hand. Okay, never mind. That was the top deck that he needed, actually, to
Yes.
be in a really strong position for
I
this
think
game.
we'll have enough damage now to take out the Absol following
no matter
turn.
what.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
need to see the Hydreigon play.
Oh, and the Mars.
Ooh, and that is not gonna be good.
Okay. Yeah, we've seen this actually, I think twice so far. First of all, once in the Scuff stream back in the day, was the Hydreigon just didn't come out, and the deck just can't function without it. And this is like kind of the inherent, disadvantage of Absol is like, and this calls back to, remember the very beginning where I was like, should you just go into the Absol and not bench anything, right? Because you wouldn't have gotten, you know what I mean? Like you would have just been able to maybe live long enough and just take KOs and hope that you draw into your Cyrus as your win condition. But now he can go into the Hydreigon, take an attack here, and then not live an attack though, which is tough. So I don't really know where we go from here. Because as we see in Nasta's hand, he has the rare candy Greninja.
Yeah.
So like,
And we won't
kind of
have
a sitting
enough
duck
damage
regardless. And
to be
Pokeball.
able to take out that other
And
Suicune,
Pokeball.
unfortunately. Yeah, I think you're right. This is looking to be somewhat game over.
Yeah. That Greninja, I think, was the difference. Maybe not, but like you're gonna go down to double Greninja pings in a couple of turns anyway. And this is the difference between the Hydreigon version of Absol and the Oricorio version, which plays like PCL and giant capes, right? It can kind of make it can make Absol a little bit more tanky, right? This is more
Yes.
of an aggressive version, which again is very reliant on having other attacking options other than the Absol. But as we've seen, it's not always the most consistent. Jay, are you familiar with that, like the Nihilego Poison Barb version of Absol?
Oh yeah.
Have
Oh
you seen
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
that's my
that was what
favorite
I
way
was
to
saying
play right
earlier
now,
too. Is
actually.
it's kind of interesting that we're seeing the poison barbs come out and like the Nihilegos and just letting the poison do the talking against these
Yeah,
megas.
because it
If you're
does a
able to
lot,
poison a mega, again, it's either they're going to sit there and take that poison tick damage, or
or they
they
have to
have to
retreat.
retreat exactly, which is going to cost them that energy, and sometimes that's all you need
Yep.
to get the advantage. So,
Yeah, very very strong here. Probably going
mhm.
to see the concession here from what is it, Fulgur?
Terra, yeah.
Um, or I guess it's Terra by G on Limitless. I don't know. It's some people just have different Limitless
Oh,
names.
it confuses
Uh,
the heck out of me,
I
especially when
know.
you're trying to set up the
Um,
names. I'm like, okay, her name was this here, or their name was this here, and then over here,
right.
and then on
Yeah.
Discord it's
There's
something
nothing.
different.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Even and then you got to deal with the Discord names as well. Um, but yeah, pretty dominant victory there from Suicune Greninja, and I think that we still kind of see it from time to time, right?
Hmm.
Like I think that the balance of the metagame has definitely shifted. A lot of strong Pokemon, high HP Mega Pokemon. You know, we
Hmm.
have Copycat in the deck, we have May, all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, like Suicune Greninja is still consistent, right? It's still drawing a bunch of cards. It's got low energy attack costs. Greninja EX does give the deck a little bit more flexibility, but it has access to the whole Cyrus strategies. You still have Iridas.
Yep.
You can play Giant Capes. Like I still really like Suicune and Greninja, even though on paper its matchup into Blaziken Heatmore has been a losing matchup. I
Hmm.
would not be surprised at all. Like I'm still considering Suicune Greninja to be like a top tier deck.
Well, one thing too with the new
And
Greninja, or the addition of that new
yeah,
Greninja EX, is it's got 170 HP, so it allows it to
yeah,
at least hang out and compete with these, Blaziken decks that are hitting
for
for
sure.
140, or the Altarias hitting for 130. Again, it at least gives you some sort of tank option, because Suicune not necessarily going to be able to
Yeah,
survive those hits unless it's got a cape, and same thing with Giratina. So again, the tank ability on Greninja is also a great addition, I'd say, to
yeah.
the new
And you can
meta.
cape it. You have
Hmm.
Irida. Like all of a sudden, like this thing is basically like kind of like a little mega Pokemon,
Yeah,
right?
and then the free
And the
retreats
attacks,
too, yeah, are
yeah,
also gonna
the
let
attack's
you
not too
bounce
shabby
around.
either.
Yeah,
100
yeah,
damage
100
for two.
damage for 2 energy, not bad. Combo it with your other Greninja, and you're doing 120. So yeah, definitely a good combo. A lot of mechanical flexibility, I would say. Given all the heals and Cyrus ability in the deck, the ability to hit the bench, the ability to generate energy. Again, there's just a lot of flexibility and consistency within Suicune, which is why we see it maintain one of
Mhm.
its meta spots throughout the entirety of its lifespan, basically.
Yeah, no, it just ended up like the Suicune stuff. Like the all of
Wow,
the
that was
legendary
a
beasts are really strong. Oh,
surprising upset here on Nascon's end. We see the early Hydreigon, which sometimes
yeah.
that's all it
Okay.
takes with this deck. Is you
I
see
wasn't
that
even watching.
I know
I wasn't even
I was sitting
watching.
here yapping to you, and I turn over and I look, the game's over.
Yeah, well, listen, that's what Hydreigon's all about. You know,
Exactly.
it's like Rampardos if you could lead off with the fossil,
Hmm.
right? Like imagine how terrifying that would be in previous seasons where it's like, am I gonna get hit for 130 next turn? Right? Like
Yeah.
is like, because the only downside to Rampardos is like, it can't be in the active spot ever because you can't lead with the fossil. Hydreigon doesn't have that issue, and it can still attack turn two going first or second for 130. So,
I'd say
um,
once if fighting ever gets an Absol level mega, where it's just a mega
mm,
basic, I'd say fighting is going to be in probably a good spot there, because then
yeah,
you can set up those
and this
Rampardos on the bench, sort of how you do with this deck.
right, yeah, and when we do have what is it? We have Halucha, right? We have new Mega
Yeah.
Halucha, so that's definitely something to take, keep our eye on for sure, to come at some point. I actually have like basically I've predicted that the next sort of mini set coming to Pokemon Pocket,
Hmm.
which it's supposed to come out, I think like mid-December, like a month from now.
Hmm.
I think it is probably gonna be like focused around like a fighting Mega. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Mega Lucario themed or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good
Um,
idea. Yeah, I
yeah,
like
so
that.
we'll have to see. Because I think the only types we're missing for Megas is like Dragon, Fighting, and Steel and
Hmm.
Metal type, right? So those are the ones I'm kind of keeping my eye on, right? To come into the metagame. But anyway, let's get into game three here. The Suicune lead, Giratina, Froakie bench here going first. So we're definitely gonna see, not a turn two donk from for game
Yeah.
three here. But Okay, so the Pokeball goes. Okay, so we researched. Now we have a double Suicune, so we have all of our Pokemon here. If we want to bench it, if not, it's all good. Going first with Suicune lead really isn't like the most ideal thing, but when you have Giratina on your bench, all of a sudden it's like okay, like we at least have this later in the game to
Yes.
attack with, and 130 is not a small attack by any stretch of the
One thing too
imagination.
that it kind of acts as a double-edged sword on Suicune now in this current meta, the current copycat meta, is the fact that Suicune draws those extra cards. Essentially, you're just setting your opponent up for an extra copycat card when they do decide to copycat.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, 100%.
Which we may see here. We're seeing him burn some X speeds and a helmet.
Okay, all right.
There it is. As I say, he's either going to copycat or he's going to be sitting down at one card here.
Yeah, copycat man, it is such a good card.
Yeah, so he refreshes his
I'm
hand.
glad it's in the game too.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun engine for generating cards. I'm curious if ranked. I heard a rumor that they were only going to let you play with B series cards in ranked. I don't think that's true, but I heard a rumor.
I can't imagine that being true.
Which, if that's the case, no Pokeballs would be wild.
You're right. Yeah, that's the issue. Unless they like reprint like the promos
Maybe, yeah,
for the
true.
B series, because those are technically A series promos. The shop
That's
ones
true.
like Research
Yeah.
and Pokeball, X Speed as well. So yeah, it's not something that I've necessarily thought too much about, but they could do something like that maybe. We'll have to see. We
It
don't
would
know
be
really what they're
interesting,
planning,
but
right?
I think there would be too many people complaining that they don't get to use the
Yeah.
cards that they just spent all this money on over the last year.
Right. We see Nast actually Mars is that hand back down. For
And it
Terra
doesn't matter. We're
here,
gonna copycat it again.
we're gonna recopycat. Now we have the Rocky helmet on the Chingling, which is actually really important, right? So
Yes.
what we're gonna be able to do is hit for 10 onto the Suicune, and then it's going to take damage if it attacks the Chingling, and then it'll basically put itself down into enough HP to get KO'd by a Hydreigon.
Yes.
And as long as the Chingling lock is active, he can't go into a Greninja, which we do see he has rotating Greninja in hand.
Yes.
Is he playing double Mars? Is that what we've seen in his?
Single Mars, it looks like, unfortunately.
Mars,
But
okay.
that Mars just, it was that powerful, it looked like two.
It did. He showed his discard for a bit. I was like, is that too much? So yeah, and there comes the Absol. He's going to attach to it, so that's of course going to be really useful. I don't mind his position right now. In the second Chingling, I was just going to say, if we see a second Chingling,
options. So if you do kill this, this first one, you get that free retreat back, and you're not having to worry about spending energy or having something you don't want in the active spot.
I might even just like not attack this turn, like because we're gonna get KO'd on the back end, kind of regardless, unless maybe he doesn't have a Hydreigon. But what we can do here is Irida. We did just top deck that Irida, so we could go back up to 160. But if we attack, then we go down to 140. But theoretically, Hydreigon can't KO you at 140, right?
Irida is definitely a good point here. I don't know, is it worth using now? Because then they're just gonna sit there and attack you again. You have to attack into that helmet eventually, right?
Yeah, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I believe he plays 2 Irida in the deck, right? So
he does play 2 Iridas, so there is going to be another chance to heal. I guess the Chingling coming up next could put him down to 130, so we may need to see that other heal to prevent him from getting one shot.
The issue with this, right, is that you have that Giratina, right, which with a Greninja Ping and Cyrus can KO a Hydreigon.
Yes.
Right? So, like, he's forced to go into the second Chingling, and which you'll just KO. And even if you get Revenge KO'd, if he goes into Hydreigon here, then you can just Revenge KO it with Giratina. And even if he goes into Absol, then we can just, 2-hit KO the Absol because we have Cyrus and stuff in the hand. So, I actually really like Nast's position here. Where the Chingling lock is valuable. Okay, now we see the Hydreigon come out. So now we have to be proactive, I think. If I'm him, I'm actually going to go immediately into the Hydreigon because he doesn't have an energy on his bench, Suicune, and he doesn't have 3 energies on the Giratina, right? So basically, he either doesn't attack you or he does attack and KOs himself. So I think what we have
kind
to
of
be
an interesting choice here. We see him just manually attach instead of choosing to roar in unison. It's going to save him from taking that damage, but he's not going to be able to attack this turn. But that's okay, I think.
I don't like this play though. I don't love this play because now what are we? I feel like you have to be aggressive into Suicune because yes, you keep the Chingling lock on, but why does it matter? You know what I mean?
Well, now you've got him down to 130 HP, so we can technically one shot with Hydreigon and not spend any energy. That Hydreigon's going to be sitting at 150 HP, so it could. Well, I guess you're going to die to Giratina. Yeah, you are right there.
Yeah.
I guess if you're Nas right now, do you attack or do you just bellow on Tina?
That was why I was saying, like, maybe I bellowed the turn before, but he's actually just not even going to. So I guess, okay. So what's interesting here is I guess he knows that no matter what, he's not, but yeah, I don't like what's happened to this game. I would have played
No,
this
I
differently.
think you're right.
Again,
I
I'm
think
not as good of a
you
player
should
as
have
these people,
focused on
but
bellowing the Tina and then just go for a Tina sweep. But this gets scary here. He's now reliant on that bench Suicune to win the game, but that other Suicune is only at 140 HP, and there's not going to be another cape, so they can't attack into Hydreigon without getting...
Right, and if Hydreigon comes in and attacks, which is going to do here, it'll KO the Suicune, but then you're going to put yourself in a position to where, like, the Chingling Lock is no longer active, right? So you can kind of Rare Candy Greninja, ping Cyrus the Absol, bring it up, and then, like, he has double Cyrus in hand. You know what I mean? So it's like...
Yes.
This is why if you wait too long into Suicune Greninja, especially considering his deck list where he's playing double Cyrus, like, it's just not, to me, like a very great strategy.
No.
And then on the turn after next turn, he'll have a second Greninja, you know? So it's just interesting. I guess, though, like, theoretically speaking, Giratina does get hit for weakness on Hydreigon.
Yeah, they do get one shot, so... And they won't have a cape to put on the Giratina.
But that's a Greninja EX in the deck, too.
That is a Greninja EX.
I believe. The last
I don't
card
think
in
they
his
have
deck,
one in
I
their
think,
hand,
is
but
Greninja EX, right?
there is one in the deck.
Yeah, this last one in the deck. So I don't know. This might work out either way. I might have done something a little bit differently here, but again, I'm not probably as skilled as these players. So, but like I said, so here he's going to go Rare Candy Greninja, and then he can just sort of get damage off on the Absol, and then next turn just KO it.
We do choose to ping the Hydreigon in the back, though, which is an interesting choice. This does kind of make sense to me,
he already has 2 prizes. I totally forgot.
Yes, he does have 2 prizes, and you're not going to be able to basically bellow up or roar that benched Hydreigon without putting it in KO range. Oh, now we choose to go with the...
Yeah, because you can't get KO'd,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
so
you're right.
This is just game over.
Yeah, and then we see the Greninja EX as the final card, which is going to for sure lock in the game.
And this is why I was saying, like, I would have rather literally like attacked remember that turn where he went into Chingling?
You're probably right. Put the pressure on early.
Yeah, like right. That was kind of my thought. But because now, like, you're losing without Absol being able to do what Absol does, which is live and attack, right?
Yes.
Because, like, the Chingling Lock is good, but then, like, after the Chingling Lock, like...
Hear me out on this one. What if we were to Hydreigon, roar in unison, get the 2 energy, retreat back into Absol, attach to Absol, attack, steal the Cyrus...
And then he's got double Cyrus, though. He's got double Cyrus.
Oh, he's got double Cyrus. That's right. I was looking at the one right next to the Greninja, and I thought there was only one.
Yeah. No, he's got 2 in the deck, and of course, like, I don't know if he's playing any hand disruption.
You can't survive 2 hits either, unfortunately. So, yeah, I do believe... He's going to attack and probably see the double Cyrus. I'm sure he knows at this point, right? He's seen, he's seen the deck list. He knows there's 2 Cyruses. Cyri.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so it's just, you know, and it might not have mattered earlier if he had just... Like, whether he attacked the previous turn or not.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, too, is the damage. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get more energy on that Hydreigon, so it just becomes like a sitting point, essentially. And he was already sitting at 2 points, so he did have to play that very carefully. Great game, honestly. I think both players played their outs to the best of their abilities. So,
yeah, no, they played great. It looks like we have a top 8 match ready to go. This is going to be Bixie playing Blaziken Heatmore against What the Sigma, who's playing Altaria and Didi. This may be like the first time we get to see Altaria.
Hey, that's all right. Let's do it. Who are we going to then? What the Sigma?
Is he? Yeah, so he's streaming on Discord.
Yeah,
so
I don't see Bixie anywhere in Discord, but What the Sigma's right below us, so I'll meet you there, I suppose.
All right, let's hop on over there. We're in it. We're here.
We are here. Looks like we're just getting the match going.
Yeah, it looks like the stream health is good.
That's what I thought too. Stream health looks like it's back. Which I'm glad to see.
Yeah, a little bit bumpy road here. For me, like, honestly, because we get so many people that watch back the stream VODs that want to watch, like, the tournament. So that's why I'm glad we are able to do, like, top 16 onward here on YouTube, so people can go back and watch this gameplay.
Agreed. I'm really glad we got YouTube working at the minimum here.
Yeah.
So.
But we got almost 500 people on the YouTube stream, so shout out to all you guys. thanks everybody for tuning in. We are on a 10-minute delay, so that's why we can't really interact. Again, I apologize for all of this stuff. It's not anybody's fault, just kind of how it goes. Yeah, man, top 8. So Bixie here, who is 10-2, is going up against What the Sigma, also 10-2. I love the name, by the way.
I know, I love it.
I don't know. I don't even know what it means, but I think it's funny. And anyway, yeah, this is going to be that sort of classic Altaria deck. This is sort of the evolution of Mega Altaria, Jay. And what we've seen here is basically like a combo. It's like this sort of mashup. Whereas, like, if you remember, that initial weekend was won by Chingling, Jirachi Altaria, because that Chingling lock was just really good.
Yep.
Of course, Altaria is just so consistent. So it was able to beat, Entei Blaziken back in the early metagame, right? Because that's what people were playing.
Yeah, I think people weren't ready for that Chingling lock on Blaziken those first couple weeks at least.
Yeah, and then it sort of warped over the next couple of weeks. It's evolved, and now we're seeing the Chingling with Indeedee, and then even one copy of Jirachi, sometimes with Sableye, sometimes with the non-EX Altaria to get around Oricorio. But this is sort of like that evolution of Mega Altaria, and to me, like, is definitely looking to be like a top 2, top 3 deck in the game right now. At the very least, it could be the number 1 deck. And I just think Altaria here, it reminds me, Jay. Yes, the players are ready to go here.
Perfect.
It reminds me of like Circle Circuit Pikachu back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a few people say. Is it reminds them of like the Circle Circuit Pikachu. And you're very right. But it's almost easier to get the bench field. I feel like nowadays, given how much more
100%
support we have.
It's definitely better, but like comparatively to what Circle Circuit was back in the day, where it was like if they go second, like good luck, because like that deck was super consistent in a metagame with high roll Misty, Articuno, and Charizard, and Moltres, and Mewtwo. Like it was like the consistent like tempo deck in the game that just won games by doing very consistently what it wanted to do, even though it wasn't as strong. I think Altaria is like the evolution of that.
Yes, I was gonna say with the Chingling, it like you said, it's the evolution. It lets you at least get a turn 1 advantage this way too.
Right. Yeah, and now we have Chingling, so it's way better. Like, I do think it's a lot better, obviously, than Circle Circuit Pikachu, but comparatively to the respective time periods, like this is like my comparison here. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Bixie will be going first here. This is top 8, by the way. So congrats to both these players to making it into top 8. Whoever wins this will be guaranteed prizing in top 4, by the way.
Awesome.
Because that's what our prizing structure, I believe, is spread out towards. And whoever gets first place gets that full art Cyrus, I think, which is pretty cool. But
that's too bad it's not me, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here casting with you.
Okay, so we see that the Heatmore Rocky Helmet active, right? This is like what we've kind of seen, but the Jirachi comes down here, which is hilarious because again, we're now seeing like this Heatmore stuff where it's like, hey, like I also can do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Jirachi, less HP than Heatmore, but it can also hit the active if it wanted to, right? So it's a little bit more flexible. The second Cyrus in hand, which is kind of crazy. So honestly, at this point, like I would maybe rather just kind of go into Jirachi and then hit the Torchic just on the off chance that maybe they don't have the ability to evolve or something next turn, because that immediately gives you a ton of pressure. If you do that,
I was going to say, they do only have 2 cards in their hand, and they played a copycat, so they are in kind of a tough spot here to have that. Oh,
and this is why that early copycat can be, a little bit scary here. He's going to stay in here because, again, also not a bad strategy, just because he knows, I guess, Heatmore can't attack anything. So it's interesting. I guess, like, if you do go into the Jirachi there, it's a little bit sketchy. Chingling, you basically give him a free prize there.
This is interesting. Yeah, Jirachi, I do like this. It at least gives your Chingling some use before you decide to retreat it into a Jirachi and then try to chip that Torchic, I feel like, huh?
Yeah. The research top deck is it's something, right? That's the scary part about decks now, is like they're playing multiple copycats, multiple researches. It's like every turn they're going to draw. So now he's got 4 cards in hand and an energy on the Torchic, right? So now, again, we're immediately in this position of like, okay, maybe I should have, gone into Jirachi.
The second this Chingling goes down, one thing they could do, they do have a second Chingling. They could put that on the board, just retreat into it. The Heatmore obviously is going to start picking away things on the bench now.
The Chingling lock is active, right?
Chingling lock remains active, and then you can also put 2 Swablues down. So there is some, like, I guess, choice.
You know what's underrated?
What's
about this deck is the Sing attack on Swablu.
Oh my gosh! I was just thinking that the other day or yesterday. I was practicing with this deck, and I was going second, and I was putting energy on, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna sing them and just go for it. I don't even care. I'm not gonna retreat my Swablu. We're just going for it, and half the time it works.
And it's on a coin flip, right? So like, I was thinking like, because when I first saw the card, I was like, oh, you could play like Will in the deck and just like guarantee get sleep sometimes, but it doesn't work that way. You guarantee the sleep, but then they have a 50-50
They
chance
have
of breaking out. It's not like
exactly.
paralysis. Yeah.
We need like the
So
anti-will. You're not getting a heads.
right. That would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
Wouldn't that
Imagine
be a
if it
good
was
card?
like
Yeah,
your
the next
opponent's
coin
next
flip
turn.
your opponent throws, they're not getting heads.
That would be so funny. That would be an incredible card. Oh man! Shout out to YouTube, by the way. 700 people watching. Congrats to you, Jay, for leading an incredible weekend of casting.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm
But
glad that we're back on YouTube here. I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier on, but again, I'm
it's
glad
all
to
good,
see
man.
that things have seemingly stabilized.
This Mars here is a little bit, it's a little bit something. But now, again, we're in an interesting spot, right? Because now, like, both Chinglings and Swablu have damage onto them, which means that they're all, these are all single prize Pokemon that can potentially do something. And I like this play here. The non-EX Altaria could be kind of spicy here because he can KO this Heatmore in the active. And like this might not seem very beneficial, but he did just Mars him to 3. So what are the odds, that he does have Arcane Blaziken in his hand, right?
Considering
like,
I didn't throw the Mars, probably pretty good. If it was me, I gave him another helmet and the evolution.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, I think on paper, Blaziken Heatmore has been losing to Altaria. And I don't know necessarily the reason for that, but I think it's just more consistent. Very similar, but more consistent.
Yeah.
They function the same way.
I think you
whereas
get
like the 20 extra
of like
HP
the
doesn't matter.
Chinglings, you get the heals from Indeedee.
You get Chingling Lock, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a little bit more, I'd say, like mechanical advantage to the
it's more flexible.
Yeah,
a little bit more
Altaria
consistent. Deck. Yeah, and that extra damage matters oftentimes, but just in this matchup, it doesn't really, So that's just the reality.
Unfortunately, with the stall on Bixie's end, I'm thinking we didn't get the evolution here.
Yeah, it's always tough when they just don't do anything for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, But although, like, we've all played those games in ranks where your opponent stalls for 30 seconds and then they just play it anyway.
Yeah, and then they
like,
just end the game on you, and it's like, why did you do that?
Yeah, you just BM'd me, huh?
You BM'd me for no reason.
Yeah, it's tough. But, it's best of 3. I mean, how many times have we seen these Hydreigon, Blaziken decks just not get the combo out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the game just ends. And it's unfortunate because it's kind of an anticlimactic end when it goes like that.
Yeah.
There's just like, oh, he just didn't draw the card. But that is Pocket. That's how it be. Oh, he is Bixie. He's teasing us. The anticipation.
Come on, dude. Come on, we called it too.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world here though, because again, he doesn't have any prizes. So we can go into Chingling, we can attack, and then draw into an Altaria, and we have Cyrus. So I mean, we're gonna win that battle regardless, right? So as long as we can draw an Altaria this turn or next turn, we're fine.
The scary thing is though, Altaria. He does. Oh, there's an Indeedee. So this is actually kind of huge because this can heal up. I would almost put the Indeedee in, heal up the front Chingling, and
the Chingling, so you don't
bring
go down
it back
to
the bench. So it's no longer a Cyrus target. That's what I was just going to say. Is now you unfortunately have 3 10 health targets.
That's
on
actually
the board.
That's such a good play. I forgot. Yeah, so you heal and then go into the other Chingling, so that. Yeah, I love that. That's super smart. He can't hear us, by the way. So if he ends up doing that, that's just. I wouldn't have thought that. I
mentally sent it to him. Is all.
Yeah, Can
I do that? Is that legal? No, I think that's against tournament rules, but.
Probably a little bit. No Altaria still, though. How many cards are in his deck, I wonder? Because it's so funny that he literally waited 30 seconds and then evolved
to play the
I love that, though. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he actually just stays in, which is kind of crazy.
That's fine.
Because we can do the same thing next turn.
Hey, if you're going to waste a Cyrus on a Chingling, go for it. I think that's the play there.
He can also just do it next turn by going into Chingling, healing, and then retreating into Altaria.
Exactly.
So
there's no hurry. And again, if you keep that 10 health Chingling on the bench and Bixie does decide to Cyrus it, kind of a wild
Well, I think
Cyrus.
it's for the following turn, right? Yeah. It's for the following. So like once he KOs this Chingling, then you're going to want to heal the other one up, because if you do end up going in Altaria, you can't have that Chingling on your bench.
That is true.
Like,
uh-oh.
What happened there?
Oh, are we back? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Mic check 1 2. Yeah, I think my internet died for a sec there. I've got to be having some internet issues today because
it's back.
It's all over the place. We're back. I'm happy it's back. I was just about to message you. I think my internet just dropped, but we're back.
Oh, I think your provider's really angry at you.
Something's going on today, and I'm gonna give him a phone call and give him a piece of my mind. That's all I know.
Oh, here comes the sing play, by the way, though.
Okay,
so
we're going
getting it.
Full desperation.
Yeah, we don't have anything
Sometimes
else
you
we can
have to
do.
though. If you don't, I mean, if you're what the Sigma? I mean, what do you do at this point? You have
No,
no way to survive the hit from Blaziken.
Yeah.
You're already
Which is
sitting at 2 prize points on Bixie's end.
Yeah, which is crazy and underrated because that this is an option. Like no other deck
Yeah.
even had like in any other deck the game's over.
Yep.
But now it's like, well, it's a coin flip now. So let's see.
And the coin flip happens, or well, doesn't happen,
Right. So
depending on how you look at it.
There we go. So I mean, now it's like, sure, like it's
and what's
so
crazy
funny
too
to
is
me,
the sleep doesn't
So
just
funny.
end after one turn. That sleep can persist until you throw a heads.
Yeah. And either way, if he, like he's still getting the first attack off on this Blaziken.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Which
so
could completely change the momentum in this game here.
yeah, if of course he gets the
We do have to draw into the Altaria. You're right.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
there it is.
It's
All right.
the top deck.
So that's effectively GG, right? Unless does he run a Sabrina or something in his Blaziken deck?
I do not see
Sigma?
any sort of Sabrina, and I think you might be
No.
right. That unfortunately, I think is going to be GG for Bixie.
He
What
goes,
do you do?
He goes down to the sleep. We called it out. I did mention it.
Yeah.
Jay, you were here.
Cast your
The
curse.
viewers heard it. Yeah,
That sleep is very, again, it's super powerful. I was at first, like that first week of Mega Altaria, I was kind of experimenting running the 20 damage Swablu versus the Sing one that can sleep. And I found that the sleep was just way too... Oh, no, wait. Bixie
forgot he
gets
has
it with the
Heatmor.
Heatmor. Nobody even saw it coming.
I forgot. I totally forgot the Heatmor
I
existed.
forgot he had another Heatmor. Totally was an option.
I wonder if he... I totally forgot about that too. That's hilarious.
You know what's really sad though is we probably Marsed what the Sigma probably Marsed him into that entire hand, right? Probably gave him the Heatmor, gave him the evolution, like gave him the win. Unfortunately, maybe that was one of my Marses.
Chilling. That's super funny. Anyway, hey, the sleep was clutch. Shout out to the sleep.
Yeah.
By the way, I think back in Genetic Apex, I think Pikachu used to run like Pink Urchin or something just for like the paralysis cheese.
Yeah.
As a win condition
absolutely.
sometimes.
I remember losing out on like my first ever top cut in Ursi to a what was it, the Pachirisu or whatever it was that could paralyze, or no, Dedenne. That's what it was.
Was it Dedenne?
10 damage Dedenne. I lost because he paralyzed me like 4 times and brought me down 10 health, chipped down to kill range.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, there is counterplay to stuff like that in the game, right? Because we have what's the item card that is PCL but an item? It does like 10 healing and status heals.
It's not a berry, but it's the the what is it?
I forget what it's called.
The little bun that you can eat or whatever I think it is.
Yeah, it's like a pastry thing.
Yeah, it's like a little pastry.
Yeah, that card does exist. Nobody plays that, of course, because it's not a good card. But like, we have that, and we have Pokemon Center Lady. So like, there is counterplay to status conditions. Also, Arceus is immune to status, which Arceus sees a little bit of play now, but it's really not like I wouldn't say it's like in the meta as much as it was the last couple of seasons. Which statuses are pretty relevant.
You bring up Arceus, and I guess like my thought on whether or not they're gonna give us more Mega Pokemon next set. I really hope they do, but so far Pocket has had this like thing where they don't, like with Ultra Beast. They only had the one shot on Ultra Beast. Arceus, we only had the one shot on Arceus. I'm hoping Megas are going to be a little bit different here, and that we're going to get obviously more than just the 6 Megas that we currently have. But
fingers crossed. I think every set for the next year, like the entire B block will have Megas in it.
That would be ideal.
Yeah. What I'm curious though is like, because like we're gonna get a mini set after this, probably. It's not guaranteed, but if we do end up getting a mini set, I'm curious how many Megas will be in it, because we got 2 Megas per pack in B1, so that totaled to 6 Mega Pokemon, and the rest were I think we have 6 non-Mega or 8. Was it non?
I could see maybe 2 Megas and
2?
3 EXs.
2?
Yeah,
2's
a lot.
Like a little bit low to me.
It?
Doesn't seem like that much. Like I feel like if you're gonna release a pack, like you would want maybe more than 2
how
Megas,
many Megas actually are there? And if you're releasing 2 per pack,
there's like 70 something.
Oh,
with
is
more
there?
on the way? There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of Megas.
Okay,
that was
I
the
take
debate.
that back.
People are like, they should have released more Megas, and I was like, well, like they have to release them all year, and there's only like there's like 70. But anyway, there with the DLC for ZA, we're getting more Mega Pokemon, I believe, and there's probably just going to be more.
I'm wondering how soon we can see like ZA content get added to Pocket. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think it could be B2. That's my
B2.
That's my guess. I don't think it'll be the mini set, but I think it'll be the next full size set. I think it'll be B.
Here's my cope. I'm thinking for Christmas, I'm hoping that they give us Rayquaza, and then Groudon and Kyogre.
Oh my, those cards are going to be broken if they come to the
Oh,
game. He was debating there, by the way, hitting him with a Star Drop, which we mentioned last game. So
yes.
he's selecting now
So this
to
is
still go
kind
with the
of
whole
the
Chingling.
yeah. It's kind of the like. I don't know. What do you do here? Do you stop the evolution, or do you start going into the
Yeah,
Blaziken early?
I think because he didn't have Rocky Helmet that turn, and he had like 4 cards in hand, it probably was better to do this play,
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly. Yeah, so he's gonna start getting damage off on the Swablu, but there we do see the Altaria, and this is a really big deal. An energy I believe was wasted last turn, but this is a big deal because effectively now we could go into like the Chingling lock and then kind of like, how do I describe this? He has a Mars in hand and he has a Chingling in the active. So what you can do here is just Chingling until you can't anymore, and then Mars him to 3 and then just KO the active.
That's a
right?
great idea.
And like,
I love that. Another thing you could do too, he's got 2 Chinglings, so you could even put the second Chingling in. This is one thing that I like doing, is letting him burn through your Chinglings. You get some prize points so that when you do Mars him, it drops him down to like 2 cards.
Yeah, and what's funny here is like we actually see the second Swablu, but like if we had waited for an Indeedee, we could have actually even done that more so, where we could have like gone into Pokemon healed and then like retreated back out. You could have like infinitely stalled here the Chingling lock.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I like this, right? So he's actually just going to let him KO the Swablu, which is, again, it plays into that exact same strategy, which we were just talking about, which is just locking him in until, of course, you Mars him. Now, Bixie, though, I believe, if we check here the list, is playing 1 Combuskin as well. So this whole thing here doesn't really work if he were to have gone, like, Combuskin this turn.
Yes.
But, yeah, we're going to let him KO the Swablu here. It's like, yeah, cool, all good. We're good with that.
Yep. If anything, with the Mars in hand, it's kind of an advantage to get more, to let Bixie get a prize point. Again, it's just going to hurt more when that Mars does go out. I would say play the Mars this turn, retreat, and go for it. What would be your thought here?
Yeah, so you really just got to bank on whether or not he's got what he needs or not. So we're Marsing him to 2 here, KOing. I like this strategy personally, because you can't wait too long, right? So
no,
once
I think that was what we saw is you waited too long last time, and
yeah, right, yeah, that's the thing with Chingling, right? It's kind of
he gave him that extra. He gave him that extra kill last time, or that extra prize point last time, and I think we're foregoing that. We're gonna have the Chingling still be a kill possibility for Heatmore. However, it's not
right.
I guess there's not two kill opportunities on the bench for Bixie. I think what the Sigma is for putting that other Chingling down just for that reason, so it isn't a Heatmore target.
Right, yeah, because last game it came down to that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And if we can save that for like an Indeedee, then that's technically a secondary attacking option because the other Swablu went down. So even with like 1 energy on the Blaziken, I think it hits for 60. So like that can finish a KO, like technically, right? Maybe not actually, but because 130 plus 60 is only 190. But yeah, okay. So here's the Combuskin. I think that was a top deck, maybe not. And he's going to elect to just KO the Chingling here. Maybe not actually. Maybe he just. I mean, I don't know. Does it matter? Probably not. You're gonna have to KO the Altaria regardless. So
yeah. He opts to go with the Jirachi.
I might have gone for the Chingling though, just because then you reduce 1 Pokemon on the bench. Not that it ended up mattering here, but like the less bench Pokemon, the less damage Altaria does, right?
We
so
do
theoretically
see the
speaking,
Indeedee get drawn here too, which is an excellent top deck, I would say.
Very good.
You could heal some things here up on the bench and have 130 HP at least.
Yeah.
Tank.
So this is where this was a good play. And you know why? Because you kind of want to go into Jirachi this turn. Because
I was almost thinking that too, right?
First
you can
attack
retreat
on
into Jirachi.
You lose.
Yeah, and then
so if we retreat, go into Jirachi, we can Indeedee heal it up, and then we can target that Combuskin so that we can be the first person to attack Mega on Mega.
He does choose to heal the Altaria, however, just so that
because Heatmore can't. Yeah, Heatmore,
that way we don't get the
attack anyway. But that's what I would do, right? So I would ping this Combuskin and be like, hey, if you evolve, like I'm going to bring you up.
Not only that, but he's got a helmet on the Jirachi as well. So if he has to attack into that
right,
the Jirachi, it's going to be an extra 20 damage, 50 damage total on this Blaziken.
But if Bixie does go like Blaziken Cyrus, then he's kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's obviously not very good. I don't know, but I like this play. No, I think you're 100% right here, Jay. I think we're doing.
Now Bixie does only have 3 cards in his hand now. It kind of scary. He might be hurting after that Mars draw. Let's see if he has
My
The
video, by the way,
evolution.
might not be up anymore on
What happened?
I'm looking at the stream feed right now and I'm not seeing my video on the stream. So I don't know if it's
Uh-oh.
something, if you have to
Hold on.
reset that or something.
Maybe that was the when we dropped, because it says I'm still
Yeah.
live.
Yeah, no, everything's good. It's just my camera.
Oh, I
Oh,
see
no, I'm
you.
back
You're
now.
good. You're good.
Okay, good.
Whew, had me scared.
Anyway, that's strange. Whatever that was.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back. Okay, so we do see do Heatmore things, and unfortunately, I think that's going to be it then, huh?
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah.
wait, he could attack and take out the Heatmore.
Yeah, but
Does he have
I
another
think you do
one?
actually. We're back into the Chingling lock. This is hilarious. So this is the position we're at now. Not that Chingling lock matters, but yeah, I think you KO this Blaziken or the Combuskin, regardless, because no matter what, you're putting yourself
Yeah,
in a
but if
position
he
to
does,
win.
so now hold on though. If he,
Oh
if
yeah, but he's got 2
he's
points.
got the
Yeah,
Heatmore. Yeah, I was gonna say if he lets the Heatmore attack, it's over.
So you have to KO the
So
Heatmore.
you have to KO the Heatmore.
Oh no.
And then hope and pray that
he doesn't have Blaziken.
he doesn't have it.
Yo, Heatmore is correct. Heatmore
Yeah,
is absolutely awesome.
The fact that it's got 80 health is kind of crazy. That's the difference between Heatmore and like a Jirachi, or like again, this is the weakness to the Altaria deck, is things on the bench are just kind of weak to the bench snipes.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's I think at this point you just
He
keep
even
going.
playing a professor there just so he doesn't give Bixie the opportunity to possibly copycat into a giant hand.
Well, you could have benched the Chingling. There's no, because you just KO'd the second Heatmore, so I don't know why he didn't per se, but yeah, if we see a copycat here, no, all right, look it worked out for him.
All right,
it worked out. This is a fun matchup, huh?
Yeah,
I think this is like the 2 top dogs in the game right now, in my opinion. I think Suicune obviously is up there. Yeah, there's other strong decks, but to me, like these are the 2 like they feel like the most complete archetypes in the sense of like they have, you know, like Blaziken has Heatmore, it has Flame Patch, like Altaria has Chingling, it has Jirachi, like they all have like both of these archetypes have like, you know, like they're the most well built out in a sense. You know
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like we were saying earlier. They're just mechanically spread out all over the place. They have the ability to hit the bench. They have the ability to draw off your bench. I do like the Blaziken survivability, I guess, how you're able to just survive without even needing the heal, really. I guess Blaziken itself does have the heal, but none of your bench needs to heal, and that's kind of the difference between like the Altaria and the Blaziken is Altaria can die in 1 or 2 hits, or excuse me, not necessarily Altaria, but anything on the Altaria deck can die within 1 or 2 hits, outside of Mega Alt and Indeedee.
Yeah, I think like inherently, like one of the interesting things that and it's not an interaction that is relevant in the metagame right now, but theoretically speaking, like Blaziken with 20 more HP also has access to Lily.
Yes.
Whereas Altaria doesn't. So theoretically speaking, like you could Giant Cape a Blaziken, go to 230, and then Lily up to 290, and you're well out of range of getting 2 KO'd even by Altaria. So like crazy. Technically speaking, like that's the advantage that the stage 2 megas have, but that we're not seeing that relevant in the metagame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is just a lot of lining up to hit that though, and that's why people necessarily probably aren't running it that way.
And it's not that relevant in other like in, you know what I mean? Like you would think that that's kind of like how the meta would go, but it's really not because there's just too many other players. You know, but okay, so we see the Torchic attach and lead. This is not super ideal from Bixie.
No.
Because what we can do here is bench Indeedee. We can actually just like so you could cape. Well, first of all, you can heal up the Chingling, which is broken, and you can Rocky Helmet it. And this is like a very, very. This is crazy because he's never going to be able to KO.
He's kind of locked in here. He can't. The best thing he could do is either retreat, which would waste the energy, or possibly evolve into the Combuskin.
Indeedee's broken, dude.
But
I love
that. Yeah, you're
the power creep. The power creep in Pocket J is so funny.
I love it. I that's why I'm kind of like excited to see where the next year takes us.
Look at there's the Swablu Altaria. Yeah, dude. I think it's gonna like we saw a pretty big leap like right now with B1, but like by the time we're like mid second year, it's gonna be
be crazy.
Apparent.
It's gonna be a whole different game. I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean some things might still be around like Greninja and Cyrus and Sabrina. Like those are cards, but like no, it's a whole different ball game here. Okay, we go into Heatmore, but Chingling is in the active spot with Rocky Helmet, and we have a Cyrus in hand.
Double Cyrus in hand, no less. And we've got the Mega Alt. I think at this point, Bixie is in a lot of trouble. He's definitely on the back foot here.
Who the Mars?
Oh my gosh, it's just going to get brutal. What do you do here, though? Do you do your Chingling Mars play? and
No, you
stall
just
for one
KO.
more turn?
You know,
You just
you
go for
KO
the
this
KO?
Torchic. Yeah, it's early enough in the game. Like he doesn't have any prizes, so it's like letting him just kind of snipe the Chingling next turn's fine because
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't matter. Like if you KO the Torchic here, then that means no Blaziken on the turn after next turn, or no
And
Blaziken next turn either.
And I
So
think you're right too with the if he does KO the Chingling, go for it. I've got the Mars in hand. It's just going to hurt you more with trying to get
right,
your
exactly.
next Torchic set up. So
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
agree. I like this play. I
we're
think
seeing the
Bixie,
dominance right now
yeah, I think
of
Bixie is
this
definitely on the back foot
so
here.
many
This is the
options.
Altaria dominance. You definitely have an Exodia setup with the Chingling, Indeedee, and Mega Alt full health sitting there on the front line.
Yeah, I really liked Altaria. Like even when they announced the cards beforehand, and then they
Mm-hmm.
were like, "Here's Chingling, here's Indeedee EX, here's Jirachi," and you're
Yep.
like, "Okay, like sounds good," you
Yep.
know. So it's kind of funny. Um, but yeah, here's the rare May that we're seeing in the format. I still like May a lot. People ask me like whether May's a good card. Like May is really good. It's specifically good in stage 1 decks, but what's interesting is like Altaria doesn't need it because you have like Lycia to thin out your deck.
That's what I was just
And
thinking. You have so much deck
yeah,
thinning already that you almost don't need
that's
it.
tough. That's a
Oh,
tough
an
game right there.
unfortunate end to Bixie. Great showing by What
Yeah,
the Sigma. And again, I think you were saying this is just the power of an Altaria deck. It
yeah,
is
man. It's
crazy.
to me it's the best deck.
I think
It's
so
got to be
too.
the best deck.
And if
I
not the
think
best,
consistency is king.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the most fun for me. I feel like I agree with that. The consistency makes it fun. The ability to have all of that flexibility, even just like flexibility with cards that you're running, like the double Dragon Altaria deck is
Yeah,
also pretty fun.
it is cool. Yeah. All right, Lamp. We're gonna defer to you here. I know that you were talking about hopping into Zach Wars' stream, but I don't know if because that game went a little while right now. I don't know if we have something else lined up potentially because after this now basically all top 4 matches will be stopped. They'll be halted because we're going to be doing both of the top 4 games before we it's like that we're going to make sure we get all of those for the rest of the stream. So there's a couple of people still playing in top 8 that we can just kind of hop in and play. They both look to be 1-0. So if you wanted to,
Sure.
like some people are streaming, we could go into Zach Wars' stream, or I think Parth. Like these are people that are still playing. You might not be able to like update the graphic very quickly, but if you wanted to just hop into like Zach Wars, we could
you
watch.
take the pick here, Zach or Parth.
Let's hop into Zach. Let me pull up his
Okay.
table here so I can see. He's playing Elord. He's down 0-1 right now.
Let's hop up there.
Let's do it. Fly. So we're coming in mid match here, just so you guys know. But it looks like this is Hydreigon versus Poison Guzzlord. So okay, so we might be seeing yet another
Some
appearance
poison
for Poison
action
Guzzlord
here.
right now, by the way.
Which is what's up now?
I think Poison Guzzlord's the most underrated deck in this current meta.
I can't believe it's still hanging in here. And I think you're right. It actually is really good at,
good.
surviving early game
So good.
onslaught and then being able to deal damage to like these Heatmores, Chinglings, the thing that these megas are hiding behind. So no, I agree. I think poison damage definitely underrated right now. And it would be interesting to see maybe even more poison meta. Ooh, that is a huge Absol steal there.
We came
Tough
in at a
choice,
crazy
though.
time here.
Yeah. That was a tough choice to steal, though. What did you steal?
hoping-
The Cyrus or the Lusamine?
The Lusamine? Well, you know he doesn't have another Pokemon in hand, so you obviously just take the
I guess
Cyrus,
that's true.
right? Like
He
he doesn't have
only
like a
has the one.
Guzzlord. Yeah, he doesn't have like the Guzzlord. So maybe top decks the Guzzlord and then we get absolutely rocked here. But
That
I
would be
mean, at the end
crazy.
of the day, yeah, I'm kind of hoping Zach Wars wins so we can watch a game 3 selfishly.
Yes.
Of course, I don't really care about. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I really like Poison Guzzlord. He's gonna set up the Celesteela, which is hilarious because it does live in attack even with Rocky Helmet Absol. Because again, Absol's just a weak little boy. It can only hit for 80. So if we go heads here, because he's poisoned. It's tails. Sorry, GG. That's the other thing I really do like about Guzzlord is that right now, like the poison Naganadel stuff is so strong and aggressive because so many Pokemon in the game are like 50, 60 HP basics, right?
Yep.
Especially with all these evolution decks. So you can KO those early in the game, or baby Pokemon you can just KO really early, or you're in a scenario where maybe they lead off with Absol in the active spot, and then they just take a lot of damage right off the bat. So I really like it. I think that the aggression of Naganadel is really strong, and then of course Guzzlord with 170 can live at hit from any
Yes,
mega, which I think is really relevant. So it's just positioned really uniquely to be really good. He's actually just going to elect here to leap over to the Naganadel because he's like, you know what, I would rather just guarantee a KO next
I
turn.
agree. I think
So
I think it's
uh,
basically over next turn then with that Cyrus and Absol. I don't know if there's
yeah,
going to
and
be a way
you get rid of the
around it,
poison
huh?
as well by retreating. Ooh, little copycat
Okay.
action here. So we could see. Well, no, because he's got
Unfortunately, two
Cyrus in
cards
hand.
left
So
in his hand, but he did use. We do see the Guzzlord, but he did
there's
use
big
the
boy.
loose, or excuse me, the support card, so we won't be able to use the Lusamine. And I
Yeah,
think it'll be too late,
yeah,
too little, too late. Unfortunately, with the benched.
yeah. The leap over Absol. It's a
Yeah.
great tech.
Yep. Again,
Great tech.
it's
I
like
still
that
think.
Heatmore tech or that Jirachi tech, allowing you to set up that
Yeah.
Cyrus play. Super strong. Absol also
Yeah.
sitting at 80 health and only 1 retreat cost too. So
Yeah. I wonder if there's like I wonder if there's like an opportunity to play Absol with leap over Absol and Shingling, but like with poison barbs and Nihilego. Like I think that I really like the leap over Absol combo with Mega Absol, but then it's just like you're leaving like there's nothing in your deck that can really hit hard, which
hmm
is of course probably why he's playing Hydreigon, but that's maybe not the most consistent thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it looks like we will be going into a game 3 here, which is always fun.
perfect. I'm getting
And
everything
let me
pulled
take
up
a
for the
look.
cards.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let me take a look at Zach Wars' deck because we see double Hydreigon, double Absol, leap over Absol, and then 1 Mega Absol, 1 Shingling. So a very cool deck. I really do like the leap over Absol. Like I
hmm
said, you have to play it with something else. So to playing it with Hydreigon, like this is a really, really cool deck as well. It's leap over Absol, I think, is literally Heatmore in a card. It's
Yes,
straight
yeah,
up
I think
Heatmore. Yeah, the
exactly the
exact same
same, other
card.
than difference in name and weakness.
In color
Yeah, color
weakness.
and that
Yeah, they
too.
both have a retreat cost of 1. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that card. Again, it's just different. Like you can't pair it solely with Mega Absol because
hmm
like you're just not KOing.
No.
But the Hydreigon kind of fixes that a little bit, right? So and it's also just a strong lead off if you're not leading Chingling. So I like this deck a lot, and I think that it probably opens up a lot of really interesting avenues into some of the other matchups, like like into Altaria or going around Oricorio and things like that. So the issue
hmm
with Hydreigon is that sometimes you don't have it early. So you kind
Yeah.
of want something, and
Yeah, that is,
this is a good
and
option
we've
there.
seen that happen where the game just ends,
Yeah.
unfortunately, very early, just because of the lack of draw for Hydreigon. Oops, sorry. Starting off though, we do see Absol and at least one piece to the puzzle
Excuse me
of
there,
the
Jay.
Hydreigon setup here. They are
Just had
Elord
to crack
having to start off
crack a
with
little soda here.
Guzzlord. I don't know if that's necessarily the ideal start for them. I could be wrong. They may
Yeah,
have Pokeballs.
it typically is okay, right? Because we got Celesteela.
Yes, and there
But
it
we
is.
okay. I was gonna say he only has 1 in the deck, but yeah, there it is. Immediately just rip off the red card again. Like it may not make a lot of sense, but removing cards from your hand, copycat exists. So might
Exactly.
as well just play it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, and he's just gonna. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I like this. It's fine. Um,
My
and
favorite play
yeah. So what we want
personally
to
is
see
when you
here.
can hit a copycat, get 5 cards off your opponent, and then red card them in
And then,
return. Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had some awesome plays where it's like my opponent has like 10 cards in hand, and I just
Oh,
copycat all 10 cards
get
and
the
then red
whole
card
deck
them to
back.
3, and
Yeah,
it's like a 10 card
exactly.
swing. Yeah. And yeah, so let's see what Elord pulls there because like no Poipole, we don't see yet, and no Nihiligos, right? So that's maybe
Yeah.
the little bit of the awkward thing about this deck list. Yeah, wow, just no other basics is really tough.
I was about to say too, where are we
And
going
we
to
see that
see
copycat though.
Elord opt to put like who's out front, who's not out front, who's going to take the damage here? We do see Absol out front on Zach War's end, so
I
that
mean, Absol can
Absol,
only hit. Maybe he
yeah,
does have a basic in hand, but he elected not to bench it just because.
because of the
Why
fact
not?
that
Like,
Absol
if you're
could
gonna
snipe
let,
it. Yeah,
yeah, if you're gonna let any Pokemon take damage, it might as well be this bench Celesteela, right?
good point there. Um, Zach War's, I guess, deciding: do I want to put this Chingling in?
Yeah,
Do I want to
I
leap
think.
over?
Yeah,
What are we
I
doing
no.
here?
I think we're just doing nothing because I would not be surprised at all if Elord like does have a basic in his hand. He's just not gonna play. Like he's actually just gonna straight up copycat here because
Yeah.
he's like, well, I don't really want those cards. Another leap over Absol, not great. Rocky Helmet's fine, and another copycat. So
I would say
I
that red card
wonder.
definitely was kind of effective there. It caused him to use the
Yeah,
copycat, kind of caused him to stall out here. Not a whole lot of great setup for Zach Wars this
yeah.
turn. He did draw that other
You know,
copycat.
I don't hate it. Yeah, because it's like if Elord ends with anything like 3 or more cards in his hand, then
Mhm.
you get 3 new cards. Maybe we just draw into like a rare candy Hydreigon setup, or you know what I mean. So it's like neither players are super aggressive here, and in the pacing for this match is definitely not like super fast without any
Mhm.
Poipoles or Naganadels. So it's like what we literally might see here is just like a Guzzlord attach, and then we just ride out. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a slower game for 2 decks that could be very explosive. But the Pokeball research comes down here.
I don't know if he
I know
knows.
Zach Wars is like foaming at the mouth. He's
Yeah,
ready
he's
to
like, keep those
copycat,
cards in
but
your hand, please.
yeah,
We do
but
see
we're gonna
2 of them
see.
go
Yeah,
back
so
down, though.
is he playing? He's playing 2 poison barbs, so we could see some of those
Yes.
get attached here.
If a Poison Barb goes
But
out,
yeah,
that
no,
would
I think the
probably...
poison.
Well, I guess it wouldn't really do much with the Absol here, unfortunately. That Poison Barb not being able to hit the
Yeah,
active spot. Or
it
the
removes a card
Absol
from
not
your
being
hand
able
though.
to. Yeah.
It removes a card from your hand.
I think, I guess where are we going to put this energy is the question. What are we doing? Do you want to let him hit the Guzzlord, or are we just concerned about not getting any energy on that Guzzlord right now? Or excuse me, any damage
So
on
he
that
attaches
Guzzlord?
to Nihilego, assuming he doesn't have. Oh, he retreats actually.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so this is fine, right? So you can bench the Dino, but then you don't leave a spot for Absol. But I think that's fine. He's actually not even going to bench it. He's going to straight up just copycat, put that card back into the deck, and he's going to try to grab a rare candy. And
Oh.
I thought that was Hydreigon. But it's fine. Absol's totally fine
Yep.
here, and we can we
If
can
anything,
target down
I'd say
something
this
on the
is a good
bench.
draw. It allows him to put that energy
You
on
have
the
sack.
Absol this turn and get that started.
Yeah, no, this is really good actually. You can target. I would target the Poipole because you
Mhm.
know that's probably what he wants to go into, and or the Guzzler. Either is fine. But like you have Cyrus in hand, so like if you deal 30 to the Poipole here, okay, he goes for the Guzzler because I was saying if you do 30 to the Poipole, you could Cyrus it up next turn, go into Absol, KO it while discarding a card from hand, and that
Yes.
could be a Lusamine, right? So that was kind of my thought. But another research comes down here, freely
Wow.
researching because copycats are all gone.
Elor just
They've all
getting
been
all the
used.
cards.
And he's just going to attack into the Absol, which again is fine because at the end of the day, Absol can attack the active. Now this Guzzlord is a little bit scary. It's right because it's getting chipped down here,
Mhm.
and we have an Absol with Cyrus in hand, which is a little bit scary. So
Exactly. And
um,
I think the unfortunate thing is this Guzzlord on the bench is going to turn into kind of a sitting duck here. I don't know if you're going to be able to get enough energy on
yeah,
it.
but what's interesting is that you will actually go down to poison on the end of your next turn,
Yes.
which means that going into their turn, you're going to be forced to bring in a different Pokemon,
He
which
could
could
retreat
be.
here.
Yeah, he might actually. It's probably a good play because you don't want to. Oh no, he's not going to. You just don't. The poison stuff is really difficult, right? Because like if you go
Mhm.
down to poison at difficult times, then you're in a really strange
Yeah, it
spot.
kind of
So
again it locks you into certain plays where you're either sacrificing, taking the damage, or having to retreat and lose that energy in the process. I think so. Then we're gonna see
yeah,
this Absol
yeah.
die at the end of Elord's turn. He won't even have to attack it, but that's also kind of a good thing on Zach Wars' end. Is this Absol? He did sacrifice it, but it's still acting as a tank for this turn.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah.
you have to attack
I.
into it.
It looks like Zach is maybe planning to set up 3 single prize KOs, like because he's like maybe not. It's just interesting because like every Pokemon on the board here is like KOable, right? Like the
Mhm.
Celesteela is now below 80. The Poipole will be below 80 if he evolves, and the Nihilego is below 80, right? So
Yes.
from here on out, you're kind of freely able to just kind of keep
One shot the
leaping
board.
over with
Yeah.
Absol, and then
He's got
maybe a
options
Hydreigon
too.
comes out
I think
later.
even one more. You could even just put in the next Absol after this turn. Chip down
Yeah,
Guzzlord 2 more turns. I think could he get 2 more turns off that? I believe he could chip it 2 more
yeah.
turns, and then
Mhm.
that would bring it down to 80 health.
See, but this poison barb active is interesting because he can just let this go down to poison, or because he probably, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's
No.
gonna let it go down to poison, and now whatever he brings in, like if he wants to bring an absolute KO the active, he can't because it'll take poison damage. And if
Yes.
it's Hydreigon and it takes poison damage, then Guzzlord will be able to KO it on the turn, right? On the other turn.
Absolutely. I do
So
agree. This poison barb kind of throws a wrench in Zach Wars' play here. He
but he
does.
does have Cyrus.
Yes, and he does opt to
So
go with the Absol. I think now is this how many? He does run 2 Cyruses too,
too, yeah, he's got double Cyrus.
so
Yeah, yeah.
he has
And if you
some
KO the
wiggle room.
Celesteela, then you're in a weird spot now where, of
Oh, that
course,
is true. You
they
can't
can't
retreat
pivot.
anymore.
Um, but what's awkward here, and you're not taking poison barb damage, so that's I think the play you had to make this turn was not get poisoned because it's
Big
tough. And he's
hand
gonna
here.
elect to discard the Cyrus. So this is the 1-up Cyrus in the deck. Probably the better choice because he does have double Lusamine in hand anyway. So I think you gotta just take the Cyrus and be like, yeah, I guess he can just Lusamine back-to-back turns, which might also be a win condition for him. But Cyrus definitely is going to be valuable. This might come down here because this Guzzlord's a big boy. This might come down to Hydreigon and having it, but he does have double rare candy research in hand. So Guzzlord's going to be able to smack him for a good old whatever. I don't know. What is he? I guess he can hit for 120.
120 with the 4 energy. And then 30. But did we mess up?
And now he's locked
here?
in, right? Because he doesn't have Celesteela. So he's
we
in
have
the
no
active,
Celesteela. And now I'm also kind of wondering. We didn't Lusamine
copycatted.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, are
it's
we
Grindcore City, baby. It's Grindcore City,
Poison Barb though, which is huge.
It's Poison Barb Grindcore City. Let's go.
All right, we're going Grindcore.
Yeah, this is fine, right? Because I guess 120 and it doesn't really matter, right?
Ooh,
so
and he's
that's
stealing both energies. Oh, this is huge. Oh my lord, Grindcore might have just won the game.
Oh, well, there's the Hydreigon.
There's the Hydreigon. So he can't evolve, but he can't attack, unfortunately. He won't have the energy to retreat and attack on Hydreigon.
Yeah, I mean, and he probably does have a Lusamine here. So if you do Hydreigon, well, hold on now. Oh, the Rocky Helmet's huge. Man, this is interesting. There's too many things to think about here because Hydreigon can attack, but you could go in and live an attack. You could live a Tyrannical Hole attack, but then you're in range where you KO yourself if, of course, you use the Roar in unison.
So one thing I might have done if I was Zach Wars is maybe just retreat into a Chingling and hit that hit the Guzzlord and just bring him down to 130.
But then you go down to poison because you go down to poison at the end of your turn. Though,
you could then one shot it with Hydreigon next turn, I believe.
Yeah, but you go down that following turn, because you go down after you attack, you get KO'd because of the double Night Lego Poison Barb.
On Chingling, you're
so
right.
he's gonna do what you said.
He's
gonna do exactly what you said, but he's gonna do it with Absol.
Okay, I see
the same thing, but now he's gonna dodge the Poison Barb. Yeah,
I forgot that fact that you would die and have to then put something else up front.
No, he had the great idea. He's doing that exact idea just with Absol. So but I mean, and he doesn't have the Cyrus, right? So realistically speaking, he can Lusamine KO the Absol here, but then he gets put in range of the Hydreigon KOing. And he could actually Lusamine in retreat. No, he's gonna pass. He has to. Yeah, it's nothing he can do.
Yeah,
because what do you do?
I mean, what's your out after this? You have to attack into that Absol eventually, and now you're just letting Hydreigons get
for Zach to KO. So smart for Zach to KO that Celesteela earlier in the game. And now we have double Hydreigon set up, and he's only got one prize here, and this Absol's not in range of getting KO'd by Tyrannical Hole. So we can actually just KO this Nihilego freely, and then literally there's nothing he can do at this point other than have a Cyrus. But even if he Cyruses, then he only has, he doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't do anything. Well, theoretically, you're at 142. So if we see a Cyrus next turn, he could Cyrus up the Hydreigon and KO it, and then what, right? And then he's forced. So
he's still only got the one prize point, and the Hydreigon only counting for one.
He only has one Cyrus in his deck, so
yeah. And we did see that get burned right by the Absol earlier in the game.
Yeah, I got discarded. Yeah, so I think this is kind of a GG scenario. I don't think he's got enough options, because once you KO the Celesteela, you're very limited in terms of what you can do.
Hold on, now hear me out. Are we so Absol can just pick off your bench and then it's game over. I was gonna say, are we in a position where we could just stall out until Zach has to put something in the active, but that won't work. Okay,
no, he can't.
Absol can just pick
it's
your
tough.
whole bench apart.
Yeah, that's why I kind of popped off when I saw the rare candy, because it was now the damage kind of lines up, so really incredible. I mean, the leap over Absol stuff, it's really good. I think it sets up some interesting scenarios, at least in that matchup, because both players were playing tool cards. So the ability to kind of deal damage without taking damage from a Rocky Helmet or a Poison Barb from your opponent's active is a really big deal in that specific matchup. I really love Guzzlord. For anybody watching this is there was only one Guzzlord that made it into day 2 today, because nobody played Guzzlord in day 1. And that player ended up going all the way to top 8. So Poison Guzzlord is a very, very good deck. Yeah. I understand it's kind of old news, so maybe people don't want to play it, but it's really good. definitely
I,
really,
I would
really good.
almost
And the
argue to
upside here,
say
Jay.
that Elor just had some tough draws there, and that deck still could
Yeah.
compete. You know, it's not like the deck was lacking in any sort of way. I think it was just some tough draws. But
It looks like. Hold on. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you here,
no,
but
you're good.
I'm taking a look at the standings. I want to see what we have left because I might be able to break this all down as we
Sure.
go into top four. So both top four matches are ready to go, and they haven't started yet. So we're going to be able to hop right in. So now, guys, let me go ahead. I'm going to go to the standings. The last 4 decks of the tournament are Hydreigon and Absol, Hydreigon, Absol, Magnezone, Oricorio, and Altaria Indeedee. So it could be a very, very likely scenario that Hydreigon wins, just because, you know. Wait, are they playing each other? No, they're not.
Let's see. Hold on. Where's the bracket at? I suppose, huh?
No, yeah. So Parth here is playing against Magnezone or Oricorio, and then Zach Wars, as we just watched, is now facing up against What the Sigma, who we watched previously, Altaria Indeedee. So I think we can just keep his perspective as we go into top 4 here, guys.
Perfect. Okay.
So this is going to be that leap over Absol deck now. A little bit more of an interesting matchup into the Indeedee Altaria stuff because of that leap over Absol, right? That's not something we've typically seen. Somebody's been commenting on all my videos about having like quad Absol deck, and they've been loving it. So here we go. I mean,
yeah, there we go. I guess it proven to work here. It seems like it's a good setup. The only problem is you're just again running low on deck space. You had to. It looks like Zach Wars had to sacrifice one of the Chinglings. But I suppose if you're starting Absol, as long as it's not a turn 1 start there, probably not a terrible start.
For sure. Looks like Parth, actually, we're going to be watching Parth's match against Magnezone or Oricorio here.
Parth.
Mono Outlaw. That's going to be the first top 4 match that we get into. So Parth from the United States. A couple of you and I, 2 different people from the USA in top 4. We don't actually see that very often. So shout out to USA. Let's hop over to Parth's perspective, and then we'll come back to Zach Wars after.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, we are in it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, top 4 of the Pocket Mads Pocket Tournament number 8 Mega Madness. 750 players. It all comes down to these 4. Like I said, double Hydreigon Absol decks in top 4. One of them is playing Leap over Absol, as we just saw. Very, very good. A Magnezone Oricorio fighting its way into top 4 again. Oricorio is Oricorio. And the last one is going to be Altaria. So anyway, Lamp, let's get it rocking here, my man. And let's start this up. Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
Sorry for everybody.
I'm excited. These last few games have definitely started to ramp up as far as like exciting gameplay goes. So I'm looking forward to the last couple games we've got here. It looks like no Greninja this week, huh? Greninja has now officially been taken out of the tournament.
Yeah, I think it was a tough week. I think that the Heatmore Blaziken stuff pushed it down a little bit. But also, like, as we're seeing, like, Leap over Absol here, Magnezone or Oricorio as well is something that's a little bit difficult. We had one Suicune, and it was Nast, who was 6th place.
Yes.
He was our highest place in Greninja. And then the next highest was 3Key99 at 21st place. So, yeah, definitely kind of pushed out of the meta a little bit, I would say, by Blaziken Heatmore this weekend. And, for me, all the better. Get those Greninjas out of here. I don't want to see them.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, I don't hate the Greninja deck that badly. It's not Dark Tina for me yet, but it's nice to see some variation here.
I don't love it though.
Exactly.
All right, Lamp. Lamp is he's piecing out of the VC. He did a great job today. I appreciate him.
Thank you, Lamp.
Shout out to all the judges, and shout out to everybody here. 600 plus people in the stream, guys. Top 4, let's go. Mega Absol is the lead off here. And, that one Chingling that is in the, you might be like, what deck is Outlaw playing? He's actually playing Magnezone or Oricorio with one Chingling, and he just happens to lead off with that Chingling. Going to be pretty useful here, considering the Dino is benched and the Rare Candy Hydreigons are in hand. So, kind of an interesting scenario. But I think the one Chingling does make this deck a bit better. And Magnezone now, Jay, access to Copycat. So
yeah, kind of lucky too to get that Chingling on start there too. That's always my fear is when I run one Chingling, I'm never going to see it. So. Or at least not at the start.
Yeah, but here we are in top 4, and you lead off with it. Now we can freely attach to that Oricorio, and this is the core of the deck, right? Is all single prize Pokemon. We have Chingling Lock. We can go from Chingling Lock into Oricorio or go into Magnezone, which again has 140 HP. Like, it's kind of a lot. Kind of a lot of HP, especially with I believe Magnezone here playing what is this? Double Giant Cape,
double cape, so
or one.
busted
One
up to
PCL.
160. Yeah, which again, you're
Yeah.
right. It can survive hits. It doesn't suffer from any sort of type advantage from like Altaria or Blaziken.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. Lightning's in a weird spot. Like, really, the only Pokemon that you're hitting for weakness is going to be like Suicune, Greninja,
Mm-hmm.
but also you're weak to fighting, right? So that's not an issue really right now. Yeah, it looks like Oricorio is going to be freely able to come in here
Ooh,
and red card him here and
that's a
get
big
50
red
damage
card,
off
I
on this
feel like.
Absol. Wow. Oh wow. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
we did have a Hydreigon in hand. Unfortunately, that red card stripping it away.
now Jay.
Yes.
He plays Dawn in his deck, which is cool. So, what we're able to see with Mega Absol is like if he was going to stay in, which I'm not saying he should, he can still discard and view his opponent's hand.
Absolutely.
Not that I would want to, but at this point, like, you're at 110 HP, you're in KO range of a Magnezone. Like, maybe you just stay in and maybe discard
And
like
try
a
to
Cyrus.
steal
He
that
plays one in the
Cyrus,
deck.
because that Cyrus is going to be your death condition, essentially. We've
I
seen
don't
it
love it,
all
but
weekend long. It's been Cyrus goodbye. So I would say you're probably right. At least do something this turn. Oof. I don't know. Tough spot to be in if you're Parth. But again, I think getting rid of that Cyrus probably your best hope here. He can attack into the the Oricorio. It's not going to do damage, but he will still get the effect.
He's got double Magnezone in hand, so that's
Not
interesting
great.
information. That's interesting information though
Yep.
to have, right? So, and there's the top deck Magneton, LOL. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, man, it's a tough world to be.
So he won't be able to get another attack in, unfortunately, and that Cyrus is going to roam free. Like you said,
Yeah.
tough spot to be in if you are Parth. I think what he's relying on getting
a Dark Pendant top
a Dark
deck is
Pendant a
hilarious.
little late. He's playing some interesting utility on this deck here that we haven't
Yeah, the
seen.
Dawn, the Dark Pendant.
Dawn, Dark
Yeah.
Pendants.
Cool stuff. I thought the Dark Pendant was like a little bit counterproductive because it was like you're shuffling cards back into the hand and then you're discarding. So it's like kind of weird. But I guess it is cool. Like I think they were kind of like the developers did expect us to play like Dark Pendant, Mega Absol. Like I get it. But anyway, the Magneton is here and it is ready. So
yeah, and the downside is, like the Dark Pendant, maybe if they would have had to attack into the Dark Pendant last turn and set up a scenario where they could have gotten rid of the Magnezone, but I think at this late, or at this point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, it's tough, but this is what Oricorio does to you.
Mm-hmm.
And we see this all the time. Like Oricorio, oftentimes in this metagame right now, it's not going to win you games, but it's going to buy you like 2, 3, sometimes 4 turns.
Yes.
And if you have something strong to set up behind it, it's enough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absol or Mega Absol actually won the was it the first tournament or the second? It won the second tournament. Won last week, right? It won because of that. It was like it was just able to set up like double Absols on the bench, and then it was like, now what?
We did see a copycat go in the discard pile with that Dark Pendant, which is actually kind of big, I would say. At least we're not getting any more cards, although he is.
And we're KOing a Chingling here.
And we are getting
a Chingling here.
Yeah, this is big too, I suppose.
What's cool actually that I like here, because I completely forgot about the Darkrai, but yeah, next turn he can actually attack with Darkrai next turn with Dawn.
Dawn into it. So that's kind of cool that we're going to see both Dark Pendant and Dawn get play in this game here.
Yeah, Dark also has a lot of tools in its toolbox now with Hydreigon, with Dark Pendant, with Absol, with Darkrai. So here comes the Dark Pendants. They keep flowing here. That card probably didn't matter too much, but it's in the deck and not in hand, right? So which is obviously not as good. But now again, this Oricorio is kind of freely here to just extend the game out. And there's the rare candy though.
Went
so
for the gamble
goodbye.
And it paid off.
So this is a big deal. This is a big development here. So we're going to be able to KO the Oricorio, and we actually don't get KO'd by the Magnezone back. Now, the Magnezone can force us to not be able to, roar in unison.
I think, But well, actually, no, because he could Dawn next turn and retreat too. So I was gonna say he doesn't necessarily have to lose the Hydreigon, but I think I still would.
We also need to understand that as soon as Outlaw draws a Cyrus, the game is over. So, but that might not happen. So you know what I mean.
We keep putting cards back into the deck with that Dark Pendant, so that's kind of a positive there. Maybe he'll redraw the same cards. It's coming down to this.
I still think you go into Magnezone here, so that you force him to KO himself. But even if he does, so like you might actually do that. Like there's a world where you just KO yourself here, and he's gonna PCL the Oricorio, which is fascinating. Not that really mattered, but might as well just play it, right? Because it's gonna, I don't know, because it's gonna get discarded probably. So now, what Vader can do here, is KO himself with Hydreigon with Roar and Unison, and then just go into Absol and then set up the 2-hit KO in the Magnezone. And that's effectively the game because he just played PCL.
So my thought too. Oh, I guess that might be
because he has Cyrus.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You know what I
maybe
mean?
don't wait too long here. I was gonna say he could just attach and let Outlaw have to kill the Hydreigon himself. But I think
He only has 1
waiting for
point,
that
though.
Cyrus is not going to be the right play.
Yeah, I forgot. Actually, no, I forgot. Absol has 60 HP. I completely missed. I forgot that. So, and maybe we just do the Darkrai shenanigans.
Yeah.
So instead of you going into Absol, you just go into Darkrai because you can Dawn to it. So you can KO yourself with Roar and Unison, go into Darkrai, and then you still have Cyrus, so it's effectively the same win condition. But you're right. Yeah, I mean, because Darkrai can 2-hit KO the Magnezone. Oh, man, I forgot all that damage was done to Absol early in the game. That does. Oh, wait a minute.
Possibly going for the retreat strategy. I see now. I don't think I would play this. I don't think I would do this. I think I would do the self sacrifice.
Wow.
Ooh, interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
So now, wait a minute. But what does this leave you with, though?
Wait,
I don't
what?
understand. So now we just like go into Darkrai and then we just
Stay there. See, I would have let that just die.
What is? Yeah, right. Like, what is this doing for you?
It's not doing anything besides setting up your Darkrai into a kill position.
What's in his deck? I feel like he's got something in the deck here that I'm missing.
Absols and maybe
he's
another
got
Hydreigon
Pokemon.
setup.
He's got 2 Pokemon Center Lady in the deck. That's what he's missing. So he knows he can heal up and then Roar in Unison.
Oh
without getting
yeah.
KO'd.
Oh, you know what? I have.
You got the other one up, yeah.
I was looking at the wrong
he doesn't
deck
top
list.
deck it,
I was
though,
looking at the
so-
wrong deck list. You're right. He does have 2 Poke Center ladies.
Yeah, he doesn't top deck. He doesn't have either of them though. He actually just
too late.
researches into
He
both of
does.
them. So
He research. Yeah, you're right. He researches into him, but too little, too late.
was that better? Was that actually better than just letting him KO Hydreigon and then you have Cyrus in hand? So like, why wouldn't you just attack the Magnezone?
I would say no because you would have got 2 hits onto the Magnezone. He would have won that.
That's what I mean. You would have just won.
Unfortunately,
He would have won this
that.
turn. Right. Interesting, huh? That he made that play.
Yeah. We didn't,
now
like you
what?
said,
Like,
we
I
didn't
don't-
see the.
Oh, I guess you can still feed him Hydreigon, but then you're discarding all your energy. So.
Yeah.
I don't like that play. I didn't like that play.
No,
at
I didn't
all.
like that play either.
But
Unfortunately, I think he might have realized it as he played that play too. Like, oh, I
it's
could
okay.
have done
It's
this.
top 4. It's difficult. It's a
It is.
difficult.
Not only that, but you have now played
and-
nearing what 30 games at this point, if not more.
These people have been playing all weekend. It's
Yeah.
tough for sure.
So your brain
Yeah,
starts
I
to get
think
scrambled.
I think that's the play I would have done, but then you lose to Cyrus. But you lose to Cyrus regardless. I don't know. It's weird, right?
Tough choice. Yeah.
He took a screenshot even though he lost, which I appreciate for him.
Get rid of the
good.
proof.
That's a
There's
good-
no proof.
Yeah, he needs to prove that his opponent. Maybe his opponent's gonna mark him as a win there, and he needs to prove that he did
Yeah.
win. So good on him. Anyway, game 2 here. So if Magnezone pops off and wins the tournament today, like, are we upset about it? Because I'm not really. Like, I think if Oricorio is, well, it would be back-to-back Oricorio wins,
So
wouldn't it?
I will say, I think with Magnezone doing so well, we are again. We talked about it earlier. These tournaments, I feel like, set a trend as far as people start running the decks that they saw do well in the tournament the following week. So I think if we see this Magnezone Oricorio possibly even win this, I do think that's going to just affect the amount of Suicune Greninjas we're seeing. I think it's going to go down even more. It's going to put a bigger dent into it.
What I think is interesting about this deck is that you're playing single prizers with a 2 prizer, right? Which like the math is awkward. Like that's the Darkrai stuff. Man, this is like the classic, right? Like I feel like people have swapped around the Hydreigon Absol deck. Like they play like Chinglings and stuff. Like this is a deck that's like I'm just playing Darkrai. And I'm just sending it. Like this really is like a deck that like the developers planned on you playing. You know what
I
mean?
almost
Like
wonder
Dark
that when the
Venom.
developers are making cards, is there ever times where like they release the cards and then somebody creates like this Magnezone deck and they're like, oh, that's not how we were supposed to. You're not supposed to do it that way.
Yeah, I think anything with Oricorio that's like not really like.
Yeah.
You know, somebody was playing like Blaziken Oricorio with Pichu last week, and I was like, that's probably not.
What's crazy is when you see decks like that somehow slip into the top cut. It's like their first
Right.
3 opponents magically didn't show up, and the next 3 bricked, so they made it to top cut.
Yeah. I don't mind this. So we Sabrina here,
Yes.
and that stalls for a turn, which is good, right? And we get some damage off on the Oricorio. The Magneton comes out turn 2, which is like obviously a bit scary, but no rare candies. yet in hand, but we do have PCL, we have Cyrus, double Hydreigon. We saw this last game. There's the second Absol, which is like a little bit scary. So now it's like, well, I mean, we're living an attack from Oricorio, like theoretically speaking, how he attaches to the Absol here, which is like if he had attached to Darkrai, he would have put 40 on the active, but I guess he is playing double cape and PCL, so maybe like pressuring the active. Oricorio that way maybe wasn't that relevant, so he's actually just going to go ahead and get the damage off on the Absol. I think this game will probably play out the exact same way last game did. It's just going to come down to like what cards they draw, you know?
We do see the other Outlaw go in on the bench there. I think he's just trying to limit any sort of copycat potential for Outlaw. And that's another thing, too. With Outlaw's deck here, that Magneton is almost inevitable, like turn 2 or 3, just because of the fact that you're running double copycats and double professors. Yeah. Chances are you're going to draw into it pretty early.
Yeah. Whenever you're playing Hydreigon, it's just, you know, does it come out? Like, an early Hydreigon really does just make the games completely different. But the Magnezone comes down turn 3, which is, like, super ideal. Because now
you can attack into it.
KOing yeah, right. So you're living a hit from an Absol on the back end, and you're KOing one of the only ways that the deck can KO Oricorio. Right. So, like, we're kind of chilling here, and we even benched a second Magnemite. So that's a really good play. I was just talking about how, like, if Hydreigon comes out early, it's super good, but like we just saw turn 3 Magnezone, which is like has always been good. It's been good.
That. Yeah,
it's been good since the beginning of time. Since it was released, Space-Time Smackdown. The Dino, though, pops up. He's like, hey, I'm here. So that's an option. And now we're going to be able to get some damage off on this Magnezone.
Possibly steal a Cyrus? If we steal the Cyrus this turn.
Get the Cyrus. Hey, he does get the Cyrus.
There we go. Okay.
He does actually have Magnezone in his hand as well, which is kind of crazy.
But
that's a big play.
Right. Poor, I don't know. Poor Parth. What an uphill battle at this point, but he did steal the Cyrus, so that's good. Now that means that this Mega Absol is now going to be able to bounce around. He does still have his Dawn, I believe, too. So what if he top decks a Dawn? He could immediately go into his other Absol and attack on that other Absol.
Yeah, I mean, if he top decks a Hydreigon as well. So
there's the Dawn.
Yeah, so I mean, that's huge.
That keeps him alive.
There is another Magnezone coming though, so even without Cyrus, like he might be able to put too much pressure on, because a Magnezone's going to come in again. So like after he dawns here, he's going to be very reliant, I think, on a Hydreigon.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. If we don't see a Hydreigon come out next turn, even I think it's going to be
and what's awkward is that like he only will have one Hydreigon, so like you need it for the Oricorios. So like the fact that he had Magnezone in his hand that turn with Cyrus is absolutely insane, because those are the exact cards he would need here to put enough pressure on to win the game. Because or else, like if he had taken just one extra attack with a Magnezone, like you know what I mean? Like if he didn't have Magnezone this turn, then it would have been like a lot of a much different game.
It would have totally been a different game. He could have attacked, like you said, with Absol. Well, the cape goes out on Oricorio, but I would imagine if he didn't evolve the Magnezone, the cape probably would have gone on that Magneton to pop it up to 100 health, keep it from dying. Yeah. Although I guess not even. The Darkrai's there now, so we can attach and hit for 100. So,
right, but I mean, it's like, so now like you're going to be able to hit him and force him out of Absol.
Yes.
And now, even though we can't Cyrus anything up, if a Hydreigon doesn't come out next turn, the red card's a little bit suspect.
Beneficial red card.
Yeah, it could very well be, and it is not yet. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's very, like, Magnezone is a big boy here, and we do see the Hydreigon.
We do see the top deck. Okay. Yeah, I still don't know if there's going to be enough gas in the tank here, unfortunately. We're going to have to see the Hydreigon use its Roar in Unison, take the health hit to be able to attack. And
I think, honestly, we might...
What do you do? Because you're not one-shotting Magnezone, but I guess you can attach...
This is what I was saying.
You can attach to Darkrai the following turn and hit that last bit of chip damage.
We can PCL back up to full here.
Yeah. And then we PCL to full.
And then we have Dark Pennant, which maybe matters. Are we dealing enough? Does he play 2 PCL in the deck? He does, dude. So if he draws into another PCL, like, he might be able to just
heal it.
Like, he might win because he can ping with Darkrai next turn. Oh, but then he discards all the energy, so that doesn't work. Oh man,
so he's going to be down to what, 40 health after this. He could.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't know. He could Roar in Unison and then just attach on Darkrai, right? And that
and he can just go into Darkrai.
Yeah, okay. And then he just has to wait for his other PCL, heal up, retreat off Darkrai, and then take out one of the...
and then go right, exactly. Yeah, so I actually don't mind his position here. It's a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what a world we live in here. If he didn't snipe the Cyrus that turn, like this game was so over.
This is only
But he
game
did
2,
it.
right? This isn't game 3
This is
yet.
game 2, yeah.
Yeah. What a
Yeah, and he's
long
down.
series.
Yeah, well, that's what
Ooh,
Oricorio
now
does
the
to you.
cape goes out, but I think that might have been a misplay. I personally would have put it on the Magnezone, right? So you can't get pinged.
Yeah, I probably agree. But I don't know if that matters because actually, yeah, I kind of agree with you.
So he roar in unison. It'll drop you down to 10. He could even attack this turn.
Yeah, but then you go down to Oricorio.
That is true. You do go down to Oricorio, and I don't know.
And then you don't have anything for Oricorio.
Yeah,
so what you have to do here is retreat and then wait for PCL to set a Hydreigon again to 1K Oricorio.
You're right.
Whoa, he goes into Absol, which is fine because you are living an attack.
Oh, yeah, and you can attack here, too. This is almost a good hit, too. Yeah, I like this. Okay.
Because he doesn't have Cyrus, so...
Yep.
Very funny. And it has a retreat cost of 1, so technically it's just a bit better. Because if you do top deck PCL here, you don't have to wait an additional turn to get 2 entities on the Darkrai.
You're right. You're right.
Actually, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, but yeah. No, it would have. Yeah.
It would have, because you would have had to attach. Uh-oh. Copycat happens, but I don't know if there's going to be enough gas behind it.
It's going to be his second Cyrus. His pocket Cyrus.
Yeah. His up-the-sleeve Cyrus.
So now we're in the same position where you can actually pivot because Absols have a retreat cost of 1. So like we can attach to well, no, you just go into Darkrai here and you
right?
attach
And you
to
just
it
keep attaching and pinging down while you're doing it.
Yeah, you have to attach Dark Pendant. I like, and yeah, we're waiting. He's got 5 cards in deck. He could lose here if he just completely bricks on the second Pokemon Center lady, but
I guess you're right. He does have 2 turns now to draw the Poke Center lady.
Right, he's just waiting for
it's over.
He's just waiting for it.
Yep. I'm very curious how many cards Parth has left in his deck. Ooh,
that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Oh man. Okay. Well, I think we figured it out. I think we know what this game's coming down to at this point.
Copycat going back in the hand. Cyrus.
Not what we want.
No, not what we want. I don't even think I was going to say, is there any potential in disrupting the energy with the Cyrus play? But unfortunately, no.
I wonder, does he have any, does he have a research left in his deck or whatever? Because the fact here that he has got 4 cards left.
4 cards.
I don't know. If one of those is a research, it's unfortunate, right? Because if he had drawn that earlier in the game, then he would have guaranteed basically the PCL at this point for next turn. Yeah, so a 1 out of 4 chance to win next turn. If not, it's unfortunate he's gonna be getting 2-0'd by the old Magnezone Oricorio here. Let's see. Do we see a game 3? This is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Copycat going back in the hand.
Yeah, it keeps going. And
unfortunate.
He can still go into
Absol though.
Yeah, he's got another turn technically. So
retreat into your other Absol and then hope and pray. What is it? 1 and 3 now?
1 and 3. Yeah. So if you attach Absol with 60, retreat into it, then yeah, same. We're in the same boat as we were before. So, but unfortunately, that's after that. It's it.
It's it. This is the last chance here. You're absolutely right.
Hopefully he doesn't concede. I think he should know.
I'm hoping he sees that he still has at least a small out here.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
They're okay. He does have to attach the energy on this Absol.
Your
no. There you go. Actually, it wouldn't have mattered if he did attach it to the Hydreigon. Same play.
He can't hear you, by the way. He can't hear us.
No, you're absolutely. For anybody in chat, he can't hear us. It just seems like he might be able to at some point.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. But no, they don't know what we're saying. And the stream's on a delay. All right, so 1 out of 3 to win next turn. I love Pocket, man. I love what we do here. This is fun.
Again, these games have absolutely heated up here in the end.
An
unfortunate end, though.
So 2 cards in the deck. 1 is PCL, and it did come down to that. So, rest in peace.
Unfortunate.
What can you do?
Not a whole lot.
I mean, what is there to do?
Not a whole lot. Cyrus in that 1 for 50 and just BM until the inevitable happens.
I think we wait the whole 90-second timer here. Actually.
Yeah. Maybe hope your opponent disconnects. That's the only play left, I think.
Magnezone Oricorio finding its way into grand finals. Big congratulations to Mono Outlaw from Germany. Magnezone Oricorio, just really the top way to play Oricorio right now, I think. And it's just, you saw it. You literally saw what this deck is, which is just tanky Oricorio with a big boy Magnezone on the back end. It's just enough in a lot of games. It's just enough. You might be like, what really does this deck do? It does what you just saw. It just kind of creeps its way there eventually.
And that's a great way to put it. It creeps its way there. There's no candies. There's no rush to the finish. You want to get into that Magneton line to power up that Magnezone. It's just an excellent working deck with not a whole lot of like new tech to it.
Now you get Copycat, which to be fair does make the deck a lot better.
I guess you're right. Copycat does make the searchability on that deck and really any deck a whole lot better.
Yeah, think about how consistently we saw that Magneton come out. Like just because between 2 Magneton in the deck and 2 Copycat, like it's pretty likely that you're going to have it, at a relatively good time. But next up is going to be our last top 4 match, which will be going back to Zach Wars, and he will be playing What the Sigma. So this is going to be the Leap over Absol version.
Did we say we were watching Zach's point of view or Sigma?
Whichever we want. We got both available here. So
I guess they are both available. Who did we watch last time? I think we watched Zach. You want to watch Sigma this time?
Zach last time. Yeah, let's hop into Sigmas. Beautiful. All right. The winner here. The winner will move on to play Magnezone Oricorio.
In the finals, right? This is the semifinals?
Yeah, I will say, I'm just gonna put it out here. The only 2 games that Outlaw, the Magnezone player, has lost this weekend have been to 2 Altaria decks.
Ooh.
So that's kind of where we're at here.
Basically. Definitely a uphill battle then, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe Absol moves on. We just saw him beat an Absol,
yeah.
So. But the leap over Absol is going to be different, right? It's a different tech. So like if he does end up facing the leap over Absol in the finals, that's a whole different ballgame because we just saw him play Absol Hydreigon without that, and that's going to definitely change things into Oricorio, right? So it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, regardless, to be fair, for Outlaw in the grand finals. But our last semifinal match here in top 4, like I said, this is going to be Zach Wars 96 from India playing Hydreigon Absol with leap over Absol. That's a cool tech. And then What the Sigma from the United States playing the Altaria and DD deck list. And they're ready to go here.
Awesome. All right, let's get the match pulled up here and get into it, I suppose.
Yep. Shout out to everybody watching. No sponsor this week. So, again,
shout out to Maddie for putting this on.
Yeah, shout out to just everybody.
Shout out to our sponsor, Maddie.
Yeah, if anybody who's watching this, anybody in the community wants to support the prize pool directly, reach out to me. All of the money, everything involved here goes directly to the players, 100% of it. So if you want to be a part of the prize pool next weekend, then reach out and let me know. But anyway, second top 4 match, Jay. Let's get it going here. He is going to be. He's got the Lissia Pokeball in hand.
So we do see him going second as well. So he's going to have that energy advantage.
That's a big deal. This Chingling, not an important card.
Not right now
in the Magic here.
Nope.
No. Another big benefit of Altaria, to be fair. It's just. And everyone's playing Chingling, but Altaria doesn't really care. Which is funny because the other decks. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say he's got the Lissia in hand, so absolutely, you're right. Even if he does hit the Chingling, doesn't matter. We're drawing a bunch more basics anyways. We've got the Altaria sitting right there too. So, what were we going to say though?
It's interesting because like all of the other decks playing Chingling are also rare candy decks. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or not, I guess Magnezone's not, so I guess I'm wrong there. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for the most part, they also carry that the weakness to Chingling. I was thinking that too, is like at what point do I start teching in the Zweilous for like my Hydreigon Absol deck?
Some people do, actually. Yeah. It's not as popular as it is like in Blaziken and whatnot, but here's that Leap over Absol. It's the promo one too, huh? Pretty cool card.
Yeah.
I think it's like the first time I've seen like a promo card be relevant in the meta, or at least in a while. And the Dino comes down, so that was a pretty good copycat. But going second, Swablu. Like this gives you the opportunity, theoretically, if it does work out, for us to just go turn 2 Altaria, which is going to be,
a tough. Yes.
Yeah,
another thing that it also allows us to do here, possibly, is even just sleep this Chingling. So next turn he's not doing anything. He'll just sit there.
I forgot he can't Pokeball because the Chingling lock.
We could possibly, again, if we get the sleep off, we could get the Pokeball next turn.
Yeah, I think you go for sleep here because you have to attach to retreat anyway, so you might as well just sing. Because you're right, he does have the non-EX Altaria, which isn't that bad of a Pokemon. I think it does 80 with a full bench. Like,
Mhm.
it can matter. Can deal with Oricorio quite well. Although I do think it's weak to lightning. Not that it really matters at 100 HP, but
Yeah,
um,
especially against this deck. But I, good point though, or good observation there that the Altaria does actually need a full bench to do that 80 damage.
right.
Against the Chingling, it won't matter. But if we don't have a full bench against Absol here,
Yeah, it is asleep though, so we can
yes,
Pokeball next turn,
there we
which is
go.
cool.
The sleep happened.
He's playing one. He's playing one Pokeball in his deck, or not one Pokeball. He's playing one Chingling, I think, right? Zach, he's got one
Yeah,
Chingling in the deck, one Mega
Chingling.
Absol. So
And
he just happened to have
another player who plays the one Chingling and has managed to get it out that first turn.
Ooh,
If I did something like that, I would never see the Chingling
this
until
is tough.
probably turn 3 or 4.
The turn 2 Hydreigon's tough because now we can KO the Swablu with the energy
Yes.
and then KO whatever else is there probably.
Absolutely. This is very unfortunate turn of events for What the Sigma. Ooh.
He's actually just not even gonna though. He's just
Okay.
gonna. Well, I guess he can't retreat. So never mind. I forgot.
Oh yeah,
Can't
he's
retreat when
asleep.
asleep.
So the sleep might have just saved the day there. And well, not really though, because this Altaria would still die, unfortunately, to that Hydreigon. We are gonna have to. Maybe, I don't know what we do here. Do we go for some chip damage on Jirachi possibly and just stall?
I think we attach to the bench Swablu and we sing again.
Could be a good play here too. I think you're right. I
Honestly,
think
it's
need
probably
that
what I
Mega.
do. Yeah, because like what else? I mean, don't sing before you attach. He's gonna retreat. Actually, Jirachi's not a bad play.
No.
Because what you can do here is
if we are playing the
I don't love it
Jirachi,
though.
I think I would actually put the Chingling in, I want to say, just so that if I do die on Jirachi, I have something to retreat into. That's not going to cost me energy the following turn.
I feel like he's just playing cards right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we KO the Chingling here, then we can like stall for a turn. Or I guess he's just gonna okay, so he's just gonna kill.
I don't know if I like that play, but it is a play nonetheless. He can still.
Well, so you have double Cyrus. It's actually not that bad.
No.
Of a play because you could. Well, maybe should we have benched the Chingling then? Because what we can do is like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you would have benched the Chingling, they attack into your Jirachi, kill the Jirachi, but now you, like, what do you do now? He has to attach on either.
Right, because if you had gone into Chingling, then you could have hit.
Yeah.
And then gone down, and then maybe Mega Altaria for game after that.
Yeah.
But he's gonna just pull out these Cyruses back to back to back, which is kind of unfortunate that they have.
Yeah. And again, what do you do at this point if you're What the Sigma? You're in a tough spot. I suppose you have to sacrifice this other Altaria and just hope and pray that you're able to draw the Mega.
Yeah, but then what though?
That's what is like, absolutely right.
You're
you have to Professor here. You're going to lose your other Cyrus.
Rocky helmets?
Maybe a Rocky helmet. No Rocky helmets on his. No, he does have a Rocky helmet.
He's got one in the deck, so that could be really relevant in this scenario. But he doesn't have it. You definitely just research here, and then you let him just discard your Cyrus because I don't love how this works for him. Altaria, a rather consistent deck. Unfortunately, though, in this game, just doesn't even draw into Mega Altaria, which is tough. And he doesn't even research this turn. I wonder what the play is here.
I don't know. I think we're kind of all over the place. I think he might be regretting that not putting the Chingling play in.
Yeah, it just felt like kind of his plays this game were just without direction because he didn't know really what. Well, he didn't have a lot of options. Like none of the options felt great. So I think he was just kind of like, well, they have the Hydreigon. I don't have Mega Altaria.
And I sometimes do this too, where I'm like, yes, the start of a lifetime, and I tunnel vision on that start, not realizing, oh, I just walked into a trap. You know.
Yeah, and like it did seem like a good start. It just didn't lead anywhere. You know.
Yes.
Which obviously not ideal. But let's see what he does here. He's just going to continue on and.
At this point, that's really all you can do is hope for the best. We're going to definitely need a top deck and a good Professor hit here to stay alive.
We might be looking ahead to game 2 already.
Yeah. Zach Wars, I guess maybe doing a victory dance a little early. I don't know what he's up to.
Well, what's funny, though, is that like this Altaria doesn't get KO'd by the Absol, so you are buying some time.
He could retreat into the Hydreigon.
Well, he doesn't know what's in his hand, but if you retreat, then you don't discard that Cyrus. But he doesn't know that. But, like, I think he kind of just attack regardless.
He might know that, though, because he did see the hand last turn, did he not?
Right. So you're right. He does know he has Cyrus.
Yeah.
Wow, so he's gonna leave him with that Cyrus, which I
And
don't
the
love.
Cyrus, he won't die to the Cyrus, so I almost kind of like
Oh
that
well,
play. It just
I
baits
guess
the
it doesn't.
Cyrus.
I guess this doesn't matter though, because when you come into Absol to hit the Mega Altaria, if it comes out next turn, you're going to discard the Cyrus regardless.
Yeah, yeah, he can
Unless he
only play
uses
the
it this
one.
turn,
So
but then it doesn't matter because you're sitting at 140 on the bench, right? So it's a fine play. Doesn't matter actually.
Chingling comes
But he is
out
aware.
just for the free retreat.
There's another research. Okay. Let's see here. It is Chingling and GG. Okay. Yeah, just one of those games. Jay? Just
Yeah.
one of those games.
I think it was, no matter what, even if he did play it a little differently, I think the outcome still would have been the same, unfortunately. I think
Yeah,
just
the game
cards,
sometimes
the cards weren't there.
doesn't let you in.
Yeah.
You just sometimes you
Oh,
don't have
I
the option
absolutely
to
agree
win the
with
game.
that statement. The
Oh,
game
he's gonna come in
sometimes
and
just
sing, though.
decides you're going to lose.
You can sing. We can always sing.
Yep. Sing your heart out.
Sure. We saw this before. It didn't end up mattering. And it won't actually because Leap Up Absol there is on the bench. So
Yes.
hopefully he does just concede.
Actually, if he
benched
sings,
some
though, he
Chinglings.
can't retreat.
Yeah, but it doesn't. What I mean is though,
Oh, but even
it
if he
never
does get
matters
the kill, you're absolutely right. You
because
get the kill, and
eventually
it's
the
over.
Absol will come in. Yeah, and just KO the Chingling. So he's gonna go for it though. It doesn't matter. He flips heads. So all right, game 2. This Absol deck here Zach might have some plot armor. You might have a little bit of plot armor here.
Yeah, I kind of
Because-
actually like the addition of this Absol too on this
That's really
deck.
good.
The
Really,
Absol
really good.
Junior, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in Blaziken. We see the Jirachi and
Exactly.
Altaria. Like, it does kind of make sense to play it because, like, it's just sort of the progression of Absol. But what we see with this Absol deck is that Absol really doesn't win you the games a lot of times. It's just sort of there to like tank a hit and then go into like a Hydreigon. So it's like, it's interesting. I think Hydreigon's just a broken card, and I think the reason he won that game was because he just got turn 2 Hydreigon out, and then yeah, and you just have it, and then it's like, well, all right.
How do you stop that engine if especially if they just took out your one setup that you had to even get a chance to do damage there? So moving into game 2 then for Zach Wars and What the Sigma.
What the Sigma?
I
kind of want What the Sigma to just win
one. Yeah, I know. I love the name. In an inadvertently way, I've been rooting for him just because of the name.
He's from the United States, like
that
Parth,
too.
I guess. Yeah, Parth got KO'd, right? Or he got knocked out?
Yeah, Parth lost last match, I think.
USA.
USA.
Let's go Sigma. Let's go Sigma. I'm glad the YouTube stream actually works.
Yeah, I apologize again for everybody in chat.
We recovered.
We recovered.
The recovery. Yeah. Jirachi lead this time, but he is going first. So, oh, I forgot he plays 1 red in the deck. That could have been really valuable last game in a certain scenario. Like a Jirachi ping on an Absol plus red, like, is just sort of like
game over, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty tough. In Rocky Helmet. Okay, so that's why I was curious because I was like, he only plays 1 Rocky Helmet, but he's playing 1 helmet, 1 red. Both
to make
just
up
sort
for
of
that
fix some of the math
damage
there.
difference. Yeah.
But going first like isn't ideal, and this Jirachi is getting hit for weakness on the Dino, so it will be getting 2-hit KO'd, which is tough. Although we do have a DD to kind of stop that, I guess. I don't know, it just still doesn't stop it.
I think it's still, unfortunately, the math be mathin', and he'll be.
But the Rocky Helmet will force the Kamikaze if he does in fact start attacking him.
Possibly. Question is, are we going to put the Indeedee out? I would. I absolutely would.
This is so funny. I feel like, I don't know, because like this is a matchup to me that does feel just so strange. Like there's something about it where it's like both decks could go so many different ways at any point in time. It's like almost like we're just sort of taking it step by step and
the edge of our seat here. Helmet, a reverse helmet goes out on the Dino.
Yeah, that's something.
I will say Zach doesn't have. I mean, he's only got the Dino and the Absol Junior on the bench right now, so there's not a whole lot of health between the two. If he doesn't manage to evolve in the next turn or get a Mega Absol on the bench, he might be in trouble. The momentum might switch up here. We do see the Altaria Junior.
If we can see the Mega Altaria come down, the game will just be a lot different. It'll be a different vibe because that's something that can live an attack and then KO something, right? So we've yet to see it so far. Although the Chingling, though, at least gives you the opportunity to put a lockdown. He only has 3 cards in hand. But we've yet to see a Mega Altaria. Like, you might not even be playing them in the deck at this point. He benches the Chingling, which again is always a little bit scary now with that leap over Absol.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The downside
but
is here too. I was gonna say I think we lose the Jirachi then to the leap over Absol because he's only gonna be able to sit at 30 health. The question is, do we attack with Jirachi at this point? No, that would have made no sense to put Chingling in and attack with Jirachi.
right. I mean, yeah. Again, it's just like.
So what's your play next here, though? Do you want to retreat into the Absol? Maybe keep your Dino alive? Try and just Absol snipe the Jirachi on the bench?
Yeah, I think here it doesn't really matter what happens because man, oh man. I don't know. I don't know because okay, so the copycat comes down. He can't rare candy Hydreigon here. But
Zach might be, if he doesn't get a good
Sigma going to
hit
do
here,
next turn?
Go ahead.
What is Sigma going to do next turn? He's got 0 energy on the board. So it's like
That is
bring
true.
up,
He
like,
doesn't have any energy on the board.
if you go for a sing play and you whiff, you lose. And now he can just retreat, go into Absol, KO the Jirachi, or just KO the active here and then do it next turn.
Yeah.
So I think all what matters here, not that, I mean.
Well, so what you could do with Jirachi next turn, put Jirachi up front, take out the Dino.
Dino.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Absol can't kill the Jirachi in the active, and now
That's a
you
good
just
point.
drew
And the
your
Altaria
Mega.
comes down. So this is fine. And Indeedee here, it's a bit scary though, because that Indeedee is a 2-prize Pokemon now. So the leap over Absol can kind of just target it and then maybe just bring it up for a KO later in the game because it is weak to dark.
We are building up prize points though on the board, so that Mars might be able to sweep away the cards and save that Indeedee.
Oh, he brings up the Jirachi and heals it. I forgot you could do that.
Yep.
So that's
I
a good
almost
play.
forgot the heal was coming too.
And now you could. He's gonna Mars early. I like this because the lock's not here. So
yeah,
I think now you maybe target the active, and then stop any Pokeballs or anything.
Yeah.
So, man, what a weird game, dude. But the Altaria on the board here does just make me feel a lot more confident in Sigma's opportunities because now we're not going to KO next turn and we can attach to Altaria, and then from there we're definitely in like the driver's seat.
Yes.
So we'll see. And he does have Rocky Helmet on the active, and he's got red in hand. Okay,
like
so
Zach
he's
is really just
cards.
not getting the cards this game either.
Yeah. Still no item lock. He could Pokeball, right? And yeah, he's gonna do that. If this is a Mega Absol, like it's a little bit strange. The Rocky Helmet plus red combo is a set of will set up a 1-hit KO on the Jirachi, which is the scary part here. You know what I mean? Like Jirachi here can kind of sit in the active and then just sort of
snipe out.
Like we're trading.
We're trading who's gonna Cyrus first here.
Yeah, and he's targeting the Indeedee. And now he's forcing. Yeah, I like this. So he's not benching anything.
Yeah.
So I don't think you attack the active, and I think you just. Well, I guess you could, but I think you just attach to the bench and then KO it next turn. The scary part here though is like all he has to do next turn is like bench something.
So if you're what the Sigma, you could retreat into Jirachi, could you not? Or retreat your Jirachi into Indeedee, put the Indeedee out front. Maybe heal the Jirachi first so they can't leap over.
Yeah, Indeedee can heal itself.
Yeah.
I like that play. So if you retreat into Indeedee, but then you have to attach to Indeedee.
He doesn't have he doesn't have the setup yet either. So I guess we're kind of overthinking. Like, hey, you don't even have the Dino down. You don't have you have 2 cards in your hand. You have to have Dino, Cyrus cards.
Absol can take the KO.
The Absol, I guess you're right, is true. The Absol does have type advantage. I forget about that.
Yeah. No, I think this is fine. And I think you just I guess you could retreat. He's going to go into the Indeedee, although he already healed the Jirachi beforehand, which is interesting. But he's actually going to commit energies to it. So now, okay. So I don't mind this play because you're safe next turn regardless. You can heal next turn. You can actually heal 2 turns in a row now without taking any damage pretty safely, and you go up to full HP. And then the turn that you retreat out, you'll be able to KO. And here's the Absol though. So
we do see the energy go on the Absol.
This is what you didn't want. Because now what he can do is target the Altaria and then set up a 2-hit KO if he gets first attack off on the Altaria.
That is true.
Because Altaria is not 1-hit KOing Absol either.
And he has to.
He goes for the
Jirachi,
to go
Jirachi though, which is kind of a strange choice. I think you're right. I would have gone Altaria because then you force him to heal either Indeedee or Altaria.
Yeah, the double Cyrus in hand is crazy.
Yeah.
So this is fine. I think you just heal Indeedee, but then you have to retreat. But if you heal Indeedee, you're not getting KO'd. even if you get Cyrus up,
He
right?
does
So that's the
90
important
damage
thing.
here too, right?
It's 90 to the active, but he's got a Rocky Helmet, so you can't attack because then you get KO and you lose.
Yeah.
So you have to heal and then retreat, but then there's nothing to really attack with after this. Actually, you can heal and not retreat, but then you lose to a Cyrus at some point in the game. So I would honestly, yeah, man, he's in a really hard spot. This
I think
indeed
heal and
kind of
not
is,
retreat is the play. I think you're kind of right there. I think it's a tough call to make, but it's really the
and
only
you don't
call
have
you
Cyrus.
have.
Yeah.
Or sleep mode.
Sleep. Put him asleep.
Put him to sleep.
Yeah, but we also want to damage this Absol, I feel like.
Yeah, we do. Wait, but we could. That's not a bad idea. What if we do the Jirachi play, just like you were just saying? We hit the damage out on Absol, and now he has to hit into Jirachi to get rid of it. Or
right, but he can also just, because he has Rocky Helmets, then you KO yourself. Well, no, you don't KO yourself, but I mean, like he can just hit your Indeedee this turn, because like you said, you can't KO. Oh no, he has red though, but you can't Cyrus and red on the same turn.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Zach might make not a misplay, but might put himself in a position to lose here because that red is in hand. Thinking like if he brings up Absol, he's safe.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
so let's see. Like if he brings up the Indeedee, he actually. Oh no, there's no energy on the Altaria.
Altaria yet, so he might be okay.
Nah, I
he
think
has to take a hit on Altaria next turn, and then survive and hit with red. But that means he's
but he can start discarding supporters.
Oh,
and he probably plays double Cyrus or something.
Oh, that's true too. He is discarding supports. I forget the Absol discards your supports.
Yeah, and he plays double Cyrus, so he's gonna double Cyrus here, and he's gonna discard double Cyrus, and it's gonna be GG. Yeah, the Indeedee here, and this is what I was saying, right? It's like the single prize, like the single prizers and the two prizer, like, and you're weak to dark. Like that's what's really tough here. The Altaria, we did see it this game, but it didn't do anything. This game,
unfortunately not.
So is this game 2?
Zach Wars is gonna take it here if he wins.
I know he has the Cyrus. I know he does, because the only reason he makes that play is because
if you would have the Cyrus, you would think, right?
I would think so.
Otherwise, you're burning a Cyrus and just. I guess you do put like energy aggression on the board. Like he has
the
to retreat
leap over
this
Absol. The leap over Absol, man. This is going to be everywhere now.
Too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Puts him in a really tough position here. Even if he doesn't have the Cyrus, the leap over Absol leap over Absol will take it in 2 turns.
You're just hoping. Yeah, you're just hoping he doesn't have, because you could never were able to get Altaria online. And like you can't win this matchup without Altaria. Like nothing in your deck does it.
He's 1 energy
behind.
That's the tough
part.
If he had an extra energy here, maybe.
Right. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think both of the advantages that Altaria typically has weren't available to him this game, which was just early like low energy attack, being able to get into Altaria. Because this is just a different game if he does. So yeah. No matter what, even like it doesn't even matter here, because like he's forced into Jirachi and it's just not going to happen. We know he has Cyrus anyway, but all right. So, it now has to take on Magnezone, but as we saw, like this leap over Absol, I think is going to be really, really good for this.
That's what we're looking at for the finals then, huh? His leap over Absol and Magnezone.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I think the leap over. Yeah, I think it's going to matter a lot. He might not have Cyrus this turn. But yeah, so both of his losses again this tournament have been to oh no, sorry, I was correct or incorrect. So he's lost to an Altaria Indeedee and to a Blaziken Heatmore. So
okay.
But yeah. I mean, unless he just whiffs Cyrus again, he can go into Altaria and attach here.
Is there a play in which we see Swablu?
Is he not discarding the Cyrus, or did he already?
Sleep him. He discarded 1.
What happened? Did he play red? What happened?
No, you should have put the sleeper in there. Put him to sleep.
Should have slept. Should have put him asleep. You're 100% right about that. Because you're probably going to lose regardless, right? So, but then you need to draw into Altaria, I guess. No, because you could have done it with the baby Altaria.
Could have even won with the baby alt at this point.
Yeah, you should have slept him. You should have slept him. It would have been funny too.
It would have been hilarious. Oh man, imagine that was the comeback win, is the sleep. I think he just realized too. God dang it! Why did I do that?
If he doesn't,
it's not over.
Cyrus,
if there's no
Cyrus,
Cyrus,
he doesn't have Cyrus this turn. He has to retreat. No, he's got leap over Absol.
But
it's
only going to
be again.
He's got the Chingling on the board. Oh,
I think sleep was the win con. I think you could have won on a 50-50.
I think he even just put the Chingling in too just now. Oh no.
He could have won on a 50-50. Because the do the wave Altaria would have hit for
180 damage actually. It's only 80.
Oh, it's only 80.
But still,
Anyway.
even without, he's only got
At
like
least you
2
give
cards
yourself a
left in the
chance.
deck.
Yeah, because now even if he just attacks, the Cyrus gets discarded. But he has to retreat here. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have it. But Chingling exists.
Yeah,
so.
you were right. The sleep was the right answer there.
Sigma. Oh, no. It's tough.
What
It's,
the Sigma? Either way, great performance. Grats on making it to
great
top
run.
4.
Yeah, the number 1 Altaria deck of the tournament. That was an unfortunate, round there.
It was. Bad start.
Top 4, though. And it looks like we're getting Magnezone Oricorio and Magnezone Oricorio and Quad Absol in the finals this weekend. So technically we will have a new champion, right? Because this is the 3rd tournament. So yeah, we had Altaria win week 1, and then we had Oricorio Absol win week 2. So now we have Hydreigon versus Magnezone. Going to be interesting. So yeah, Jay, let's hop on over to Zach Wars and let's watch his perspective, and we'll just get into it.
Let's do it.
Why not? The time is here.
The time is here.
Time
folks.
has come. 800 people live in the YouTube stream, Jay. They're here. They're ready for grand finals. Zach Wars from India playing Quad Absol Hydreigon versus what's his name? It's Outlaw. Outlaw from Germany. From Germany playing Magnezone Oricorio. My money right now is on Leap over Absol. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Who knows? Let's get it going here. I guess I will tell them to play. I assume they know it's probably time to play, but I'll let them know.
It's time to
yes.
Play the game.
That intro, dude. It's time to Pokemon battle.
Play the game.
Good luck. Have fun. Shout out to all the viewers here. Grand finals. Let's get it. Let's go. I am excited, man.
I am excited. Shout out. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the viewers, the players, you for putting this on. Again, big shout out to Maddie, folks, for sponsoring this week's prize pool. Like Maddie was saying earlier, if you guys want to support this at all, definitely reach out to Maddie. These tournaments are a lot of fun.
To be honest, I don't really do anything other than just publicize the tournament. We got people that run it.
Either way,
we got a caster team.
It's a team. It's a team effort.
I'm just trying to get people to play. I guess that's what I do.
All right. So,
all right. So going second, we have the Dino Hydreigon Absol in the hand with Pokeball Research. So these are all cards that you kind of want to see, right? I mean,
definitely a great start
some cards
here.
out of the deck.
You're starting second, and you're going up against an Oricorio, so you're going to have that out against that.
That's why I like this matchup for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is why I like the matchup. You got Leap over Absol and Hydreigon, so it's like you're always able to do something in the face of Oricorio, which is just not something we've really saw the last, Hydreigon deck able to do here.
I will say you're probably right. I think Outlaw probably looking at the uphill battle this game. He's definitely getting some cards in his hand right now, though, which is a good start for a deck like his. The Copycat could be
turn
big, huge. I don't know if we're gonna do. I don't
know if you want to. I think you might research this turn. Maybe go turn 2 Copycat.
He could also, though. I mean, he's gonna put the Absol down, 2 Absol down.
Yeah, but then you get rid of that Hydreigon. I guess maybe you do actually. Because...
a 5-card refresh. I don't know. Tough call.
Yeah,
this is
I like
me
it
personally. I would go for it. Yeah, greedy me. I would go for it. Probably pay for it.
Pokeball's fine. Hydreigon's good. Dino's good. Absol's fine. Research is really good. So it worked out very well for him. Yeah. Okay. Now, do we bench probably the other Dino? This is the board state you think you want is double Dino,
double
Absol, and
throw that other Pokeball out of there. Okay.
He says why not? I'm not even gonna. Yeah, and I mean we probably just KO next turn, regardless. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess theoretically we don't. And here's the turn 2 Magneton. So we've seen Outlaw in his plot armor before, where he always gets this
that turn
Magnezone out on turn 3.
I don't know what that is. He didn't even use a Copycat to make that happen, right?
No, he just had it. And he probably has Magnezone in hand as well. And to be fair, if we whiff off the rare candy next turn, it's just you're gonna get KO'd by the Magnezone. And Magnezone is living an attack from Hydreigon.
I don't know. He does survive, I guess, if he does choose to roar in unison. It'll only drop him down to 120. Which again, Magnezone only hits for 110, so he'll be able to survive with 10 health. But then you're kind of in a rough spot there too.
But you can't KO Magnezone either. He's got 140.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say you're in a tough spot.
140 is a weird number. Yeah.
Zach also opts to not run any sort of heals, so you can't necessarily heal your Hydreigon back into working condition.
Capes the Choreo. Because why not, right? I guess the cape doesn't really matter, and he's just gonna pass.
I think he had to at that point. I don't
What?
think he had enough energy. He only had the
Did
one
he?
energy
But
on Magneton.
did he not use Magneton's ability there?
That was his first turn, like his second turn, his first attaching turn, essentially. His third turn.
Oh, he never
Yeah.
passed. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, here comes the Hydreigon turn 2, so getting right to it.
Yeah, and looking pretty good for a potential Hydreigon next turn as well. Now the question is,
yeah, man, Hydreigon's ridiculous. Just
yeah, and he even has energy saved up to put on the Absol, so the Absol's now ready to attack next turn. If he chooses to go and attack with Absol, I wouldn't. I'd probably wait until last possible second, but
yeah. So we're living an attack for Magnezone rather, and then even if we do, we can just because we have the energy on the Absol, right? So like,
do we know for sure that he
theoretically
has the Magnezone? I mean, 5
no,
cards
but
in
I mean,
hand.
just saying, even if he
Outlaw
does, if
with
he
his-
doesn't, it's definitely not looking good for
Yeah.
him. But, we also have another Hydreigon in hand with research. If we were to draw in a second rare candy, we could double roar in unison and then attack with Hydreigon again. Or if not, we just go into Absol and hit for 80%.
Yeah, I think almost the Absol play, right? Yeah. Mega
well,
Absol.
then maybe, well, it depends. Because like I would rather go into another Hydreigon next turn if I could.
Yes, I agree with that. The
So
helmet, though, kind of
off the
changes
research.
things up, though, doesn't it? No, maybe not. I guess not. The helmet's not going to make
Nah.
any difference with the damage.
And there it is.
There
So,
it is.
okay, all right. So, Jay, we're seeing back-to-back turn 2, turn 3 Hydreigons with an Absol ready to go after the fact.
Now
So
the helmet is
you're
going to make a
just
difference
not-
because he can put the helmet on that Hydreigon.
Exactly. Yeah. And Magnezone. But Magnezone might cape. He plays 2 capes in the deck.
That is true. There's
Also
a heal
PCL.
as well.
So, I mean, theoretically, but you're not KOing, though. Again.
We opt to go for Absol
He's
instead.
going to go to the Absol here?
I think that's maybe a safe
mind it.
play, right? You could go to Absol this turn and then finish it off with Hydreigon next turn.
Because the thing here is that doing it this way, you can discard a supporter card. And Absol at 170 means that it can live a hit from Magnezone and a hit from Oricorio without going down.
Yes.
Right? And if Magnezone stays in, yeah, you get the damage off, but then you get KO'd. And then you have a Hydreigon to deal with whatever comes in the back line. So this is probably the smarter play here. And allows you to kind of bench that another leap over Absol. Not that it matters, but yeah. We're going to set for the 2 at KO here on the Magnezone. And even if he heals or Giant Capes or whatever, or does both,
No
as
heals.
we see, we can... Yeah, and do we give him... The healing doesn't really matter. I guess it does in the face of the Magnezone, but I honestly would have rather taken Copycat because either way, Hydreigon KOs next turn, and if he benches a basic Pokemon...
And Copycat could at least allow him to live. He's going to benefit even more now with the red card, bump him up to 3
red
cards.
Card, right. So he might find a basic and technically has the ability to win. So I would have actually taken Copycat and let him heal and just KO with Hydreigon.
You're kind of right there. I think taking the Copycat would have prevented any sort of setup.
And there's
now
the
we do
Oricorio.
see, yep.
So now if he has Cyrus, although he has to actually attach here, so it doesn't really matter. I forgot Magnezone discards 2.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
that is true. And
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in either way. Like you could even just stay in the Magnezone here or Absol and just discard another supporter and then just KO whatever next turn.
on the
So,
final turn. That is true too.
Yeah. This is just going to be a really tough game for Magnezone, like I said, because this game it was tough for sure with turn 2 and turn 3 Hydreigon evolutions, but even regardless, like the leap over Absols are going to be able to put a lot of pressure on these bench Pokemon. And Oricorio is just never going to be able to provide a lot of value in the active. In fact, I would say that this might be like potentially the worst matchup possible for our guy Outlaw here. Like
honestly,
it's pretty tough.
I feel like you're probably right in this current meta. I feel like everything else he kind of has an advantage going into, but here you're just really the only thing you get is the Chingling Hydreigon stall, but you're only running 1 Chingling.
Yeah, that's not going to help you.
Exactly.
You can't Chingling stall forever. You're going to So, well, that's a quick game 1. Shout out to Zach Wars. I mean, I like this deck a lot.
He is definitely on a spree
I think we've
right
seen
now.
like back-to-back games. Yeah, dude, he's just on like a Hydreigon spree. Like I feel like we've been watching this dude just like straight up get into Hydreigons like no tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Turn 2, turn 3. He also I think that leap over Absol he's gonna bring this into the meta this week for the Darkness deck, I think, going forward.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but I think it makes sense because like Oricorio is like it's tough too because like playing something in your deck that is really really good
Hmm.
into Oricorio, but also not bad in this situations where you're not even playing Oricorio, like is always worth doing.
Hmm.
Um, so like I like this. I do. I feel like we've yet to see the downside of this deck, and maybe it's inconsistencies.
I wonder if
But
it's maybe
maybe that's
just
just
again
me.
you're not. I guess the biggest weakness I could think of off the top of my head is not drawing into your Hydreigons. But I think with Absol, it gives you a little bit more of a stall
Something,
condition.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the active, yeah, yeah. And I guess he's not playing Chingling, or is he? Wait, so he's
he
playing.
plays
Zach
one
Wars is
Chingling.
playing one Chingling, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird. There's definitely a world where this deck does not do very well. Like it just doesn't do a lot. But
Oh, we see
I mean,
another
we're seeing it
actually
again. Like it.
insane start here. I think this is going to be maybe even a turn two, and this might be it. He's going to
This might be the
have
dog.
to.
Think we
He's going to
think we
have to
donk
either
for the
red card
tourney.
him or put a whole bunch of other Pokemon down. But I do think we're going to see this Magnemite get tossed right off rip. I don't know why we didn't Pokeball.
Don't want to copycat. He's gonna
Guess you don't
copycat.
want to copycat. I still would have
All
put the
right.
Pokeball down, but
Imagine if he whiffs any basics here. He only plays what 4 basics in the deck.
mm-hmm,
Nah,
mm-hmm.
he's got Pokeball.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So I mean, either way, we're KOing this thing though, so that's pretty good. Again, it comes down to the fact that no matter what happens, like, what are you going to do against the turn two Hydreigon? Like, because
It's
it's just
tough.
gonna start hitting you for
Oh, that's what you're
130.
gonna
Oh,
do
okay,
right there.
never mind. That's what you do. That's what you do. Yeah. Okay. All right. I stand corrected. I might draw another Arcadia anyway.
Not a terrible red card hand refresh though. He does get a professor. He's got a Hydreigon, another helmet.
I
I
might
suppose
have
the helmet's gonna be useless, but
I might have saved him the
yeah,
tournament there. That red card.
a tournament
Oh man.
winning red card, not just a game winning, a tournament winning.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe not though. I mean, he could just research into the
Yeah,
candy, right? But
we'll
I mean,
see.
yeah. Yeah, when you lead Dino, like it's so funny because like there's so many times where it's like, I led Dino, and like I don't know if I really want it, but then you're like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute though, I can also just attack for 130 on turn two if I draw the right card. So he's actually gonna burn an energy to go into Oricorio, probably
Makes
the
sense
fine
though. If
play.
you
So
get
let's see
that
what he grabs off the
Magneton,
research.
it's worth it. I think getting that Magneton
Yeah.
online ASAP. Ooh. But we
I
have
mean,
I
but
guess we don't have any energy to be able to leap over and start chipping
and
away
this
on that
Oricorio,
Magneton.
yeah, but the Oricorio's not doing nothing.
That is true.
It's got
Oricorio
zero
has
energy.
no energy attached, so it's just going to
So
sit there.
we just yeah, we're just gonna hit him, and like we just hit. There is a world where maybe he gets Magnezone out on turn three, and we just brick off Pokemon. Like if Zach bricks off of the next couple of draws here, but what are the odds though that you draw the next 2-3 turns without rare candy?
We'll find
another
out.
research comes down for Outlaw.
Outlaw, that red
Maybe
card
it happens.
definitely swapped the game up for Outlaw. I was looking
And
for
there it
each
is.
over, and
We've
now
seen
we're
turn to Magneton.
now we're into a
for
Magneton. If he's got that Magnemite in hand, he's obviously sitting a lot better than he was just a minute ago. Now, I guess if you're Zach Wars,
all right.
ooh, well,
That's something actually. That's actually a
yeah.
pretty good top deck because now we can have something. Like I don't mind this at all. So, do we commit to? Yeah, it's usually should I leap over Absol on this Magneton here to maybe
I think
get
I'd
it in
actually go
range
Mega Absol
potentially?
this turn and just attack on Oricorio, right?
Well, if you let the Dino go down, then you don't have a Hydreigon available. So like if you retreat here, you do go like
That is
neg
true.
energy, but then you could potentially just have a Hydreigon on the following turn, which Hydreigon plus leap over Absol will do 160, which is enough to kill Magneton.
Yeah, and you know what? You can afford to retreat and lose this energy on the Dino since you're not necessarily attacking.
But I think no, this is the correct play because you have Rocky Helmets, and even if like he does go Magnezone and KO you, the combination of Rocky Helmet plus an attack with Mega Absol will allow Leap over Absol to be able to KO from the bench.
Yes.
I believe is how that math works out. That's quick mental math here, but I'm pretty sure this is still the correct play from him. So let's see. The Magneton's definitely coming. I mean, we know what it's all about. We know what happens. This is Magnezone coming out turn 3, as it always does.
The Oricorio is sitting at 30 HP, though, so it is susceptible to an Absol leap over hit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we don't have it.
No, it's the same thing as the Blaziken. You remember like a couple games ago? where the Blaziken just sat there
Oh,
for 30
yeah,
seconds
we're
and then
waiting
evolved.
until, what's the timer? 10 seconds left? Then we'll see the
He's letting
evolution.
it fester.
Yeah,
He's
45 seconds.
He's
Sorry,
letting it
guys.
soak in here.
Gonna be another 30 seconds till we see the evolution. There's the Poke
Oh,
Center
the
lady.
PCL.
Okay.
That's cool. I like that.
Saves the Oricorio from
Because now
getting
you
one
can
shot.
attack. Yeah, now you can attack, pressure the Dino in the active, and not get KO'd by Dino next turn. But yeah, you're right. No Magnezone. So that's not great. No rare candy yet either. So I mean, he's kind of getting lucky here this game with no, that red card has saved him very dramatically. In a world where that red card never came out, this game's over already. Like right now,
absolutely.
That Dino's really big though. That Dino's huge because now it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's
he's got two options.
If he does KO,
he's got both the Hydreigons already in hand.
Yeah, and now, like I said, now we can always do something in the face of Oricorio. Now we're going into Leap over Absol with Rocky Helmet.
What I like about this play too is the Absol with the helmet. The Oricorio, if it does choose to attack into Absol, drops it down to 20 health. If it attacks again, which it will have to attack twice to kill that Absol, it's essentially going to self KO. Yeah. And the Absol is Leap over attacking, chipping that Magneton down.
Right.
Magnezone down.
Yeah, and it's in range. It's at 130
now.
It's
now in range.
It's at 130. And when it attacks, it'll go to 110. And then once Absol attacks, like it'll be in range, I think, no matter what here eventually.
There's no heals and no cape left either. So you're absolutely right. It will be in range. And it's only a matter of time before it's in range for the Mega Absol even. He could even, at this point, he could go and obviously they're going to take 20 damage from hitting Absol.
He needs a Magnemite. Yeah, he needs a Magnemite this turn because that's good. Those basics are big for him. Yeah, I know. It's obviously not looking great for him, but now like we're doing damage. We take a KO here. We live unless a rare candy comes out, because that would be really bad if rare candy top decks from Zach here. But theoretically, you're kind of forcing him to either go into the Dano and only hit for 10, and that's going to, but no, okay, yeah, he's going to go into Absol.
I might have gone into the Dano and just attacked because he had to have gotten through your Dino too, right? So that would have brought him down to kill range for Absol, but...
Yeah, but we're now... I don't mind this at all still.
Yeah, this play does work too.
We hit for 80, and if he attacks us... Again, this is the same math, where it's like 110 plus 50 is not 170.
Oh, that is...
And there's the Cyrus.
Huge. Worth the gamble.
And is that the one of? That's the one of.
That's the one of. That might actually even be game there. I don't know if the's going to be a way to...
He top decks the Magneton, though. So, I mean, technically speaking, he's going to be able to put enough pressure. If we see a second Magnezone come out...
Yes, you're right.
That's enough, because Zach has 0 prizes here.
And
so he's going to have to take 3 KOs
but there is no Cyrus. Now there is on Zach's
another Cyrus. So you can stay in here, but then you get KO'd by the Magneton.
Yep.
So what you can do here is Cyrus up the Oricorio and then KO the Magnezone with Leap over Absol.
That's a great play. I love that.
And then you have another Absol on the back line. But the issue with that is that once that Absol goes down, if it does, then they can just sort of like... I guess not. It's probably a fine play.
Yeah.
That's a fine play. I think you do that. I think you have to.
I think you're right there,
you can't stay in because
then the other Hydreigon, if it does get online, it'll have enough health to survive 2 hits from a separate Magnezone.
Yeah, and I think right now you're thinking like, well, is he really going to somehow pull out a second Magnezone here? I mean, he did snipe the Magnemite off of the Copycat and then top decked another Magneton. So, the plot armor might be real here. But
the plot armor is real.
But we neutralized the threat. We're living an attack here from the Oricorio, and I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way.
Oh, no way. We're going to hit the Copycat. There's a chance.
If a Magnezone comes out here, it might be GG because he just KOs and then KOs. Doesn't look like it.
Rough.
Wait a minute, though.
Very rough.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's so funny because
if we see the concede, there looks to be like only a couple cards left in Outlaw's hand. Obviously you can't really tell, but oh no. Wait. Oh no way, he did it!
He gets it. So look, he's gonna be able to KO, and now we need a Hydreigon now. And even if we don't have a Hydreigon, even if we do, no, we need a Hydreigon.
Yeah.
We need rare candy. We need rare candy, or else we lose. That's it. That's literally the game. It comes down to that. Because he doesn't have Cyrus, so if you don't rare candy here.
Oh, okay. Boy.
We can research into it. We have Cyrus too, so this is game if we see the rare candy come down. He needs it. Like you can't, because Hydreigon can hit and then live. But then he KOs himself.
Oh, you're right. He can't survive
And he's
2
gonna get
hits.
2 prizes.
And there's no heals on
Zach is not playing any
Wars'
healing.
end.
Yeah, it's
oh,
GG.
you're absolutely
It's
right
GG.
there.
He
I
needs
think
sleep.
the
He needs
play
sleep,
was
Swablu.
yeah. Yeah, no kidding. We need sleep. I think the play was to maybe have just put the pressure on this Magnezone with the
I
Dino.
just think he drew into it.
Oh, no way.
I just think he straight up just drew
Yeah.
somehow into this whole second Magnezone line, turn after turn after turn.
That's Zach's second Cyrus too, right?
Yeah, that's his last Cyrus. I mean, theoretically, that's a good play because Oricorio can attack this turn. Nothing can attack this turn. So I do like that play because this actually gives you another turn with Hydreigon. But it's not going to matter, though, because you discard all of the energies after you attack. So,
and unfortunately, yeah, Magnezone's going to... No, wait, I did the energy math wrong there. Magnezone not going to attack this turn, but it's not going to matter.
And actually, he won't be able to attack 2 turns in a row. Because doesn't he discard 2 lightning?
No, only 1. So he can attack next turn just by attaching.
Oh. Okay.
But
yeah, I think this is it.
Do see a candy.
No, you don't have Rocky Helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
don't think you can.
It's going to come down to basically 10 health.
Does he have a second Rocky Helmet in deck? I don't think so, right?
He does. Zach has 2 Rocky Helmets.
I thought he had Rocky Helmet on a Leap Over Absol at some point.
I think he did. Yeah, there's his other helmet right there. So.
Yeah, so this is an L. We're going to game 3. I don't think you can win.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
No. Magnezone does 110.
But he's going to be locked in. You can't attach any more energy after that.
Oh, right. Because you don't. Yeah, you're right. Dang. He's just the energy behind.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's really, really tough. Oh, my daughter's yelling. That's really, really tough. Wow.
Yeah. For a sec, I thought Zach was
going
to clean sweep it, but I think...
No, the opportunity for him to not only get Magnemite that turn, not only get Magnemite that specific turn, the second one, but get the Magneton the turn after and Magnezone the turn after that.
Somebody run the playback on that. I think he had 3 top decks in a row there.
Yeah, dude. Without this Magnezone, he had 0 chance to win. And the only way he could have won is if he got this Magnezone out this turn.
Yeah.
Which was the only way to do that was to get each evolution specifically. He had Rocky Helmet anyway, or Giant Cape anyway. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's just
close game.
He has no retreat or anything. Very close. Yeah, I mean, it literally came down to the opportunity to win here was so slim. He just ended up doing it. That might be the most crazy W I've ever seen.
Excellent game though for the finals here, huh? I'm loving that these games have definitely heated up in the top 16.
Yeah, the players are all so good, and the decks are good too. When you have 800 people in a tournament, it's going to come down to just some
not only just the players being good and the decks being good, but the matches themselves. We're not seeing too many of those I turned 2 Hydreigon you and that was it. We almost saw it there, but instead it turned into an excellent game.
That's true. It not only that, but it was the red card at the
red
beginning
card.
that saved
him. The red card. Was it a tournament-winning red card? We're gonna find out right here, guys. This is game 3, final game for all the marbles in Pocket Mads Pocket Tournament number 8. We're searching for the final game here.
Game 3, grand finals. Magnezone Oricorio versus Hydreigon Leap Over Absol. I like both of these decks. I would not be upset if either of these decks were to win.
No, I think this is going to be a good win no matter what happens this week. And I do think, again, we're going to start seeing a lot of these Leap Over Absols start being relevant in some of these decks here going forward. So cool deal.
Maybe. Depends if he wins.
Yeah, I guess it depends if he wins.
It'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
If he gets second place, Magnezone will be everywhere. So that's how it works. People will play whatever deck gets first.
But I think either way, again, we're going to see a big hit to Greninja because of the results of this tournament here. I do think we're going to see an uptick in the Magnezone play.
For sure.
And I think that's going to lead to hopefully, well, I say hopefully because I'm not the biggest Suicune Greninja fan, but hopefully it leads to a little bit of a downtick in how many people are actually playing Suicune Greninja. We've already kind of saw it this week. I feel like Suicune Greninja representation has definitely dropped off a cliff. And I think it's going to only continue to fall.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people played Blaziken this week. I think it'll continue to see play, but since it didn't get top whatever, like it'll see less play next week. You know what I mean?
Which is kind
So
of unfortunate
that's why the meta
because
keeps
it's not like
shifting.
Blaziken did anything wrong. It's just that's the way these tournaments kind of go
No,
when
it's
it.
just variance.
Yeah, exactly.
It was still probably the most successful deck overall
I agree
this
with that.
weekend. But people don't like, you know what I mean? Like people are just like, oh, this got first, so like that's
Yeah,
the best.
exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They don't. Yeah. Which is fine. Like I get the thought process there, but we're going first, leading with Leap over Absol, and that Dino does come out. The Dino.
Dino. I
And
don't know. I always call him Dino.
Dino. Second one
Dino.
as well.
Throw a little
Dino.
southern accent on there.
Yeah, so going first here might put a wrench in things, but we do see the Hydreigon in hand. Now, again, we just completely kind of whiffed on Hydreigon's last game, so that was a factor as well.
I was say, unfortunately, we threw all of our card draw right there, too, and we kind of whiffed on drawing the Hydreigon again. We do have some options, though, with that last spot on the bench. We could either put that Chingling or the other Leap over Absol in, and stall for a little bit longer and start maybe chipping the bench, too, with the Leap over Absols. Which, again, you might be right. It might be fine. I think these Absols, the Leap over Absols, are providing enough of a stall in situations like this.
He's just like, I'm not going to bench anything.
Yeah, no, he can't.
Which is fine, because like if you bench, then you get a free. So
we saw the Cyrus show up, too, so.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I mean, theoretically speaking, like, this Absol's going to get one attack off, at least on the bench, before it gets KO'd. So we just need something here available for when that happens.
Yes.
Or when it gets KO'd. So he's going to bench something. Outlaw will bench this turn. And it's probably going to be Magnemites and probably another Oricorio. And then, you know, something gets pinged by the Leap over Absol, but then it gets KO'd on the following turn. And you're just hoping he doesn't, like, have a Hydreigon, ready. You know, that's all this matchup is, I think. And we've yet to see the Mega Absol, Jay, but that also is, of course, going to be really important. These aren't good draws. Like, I don't like any of this.
No, it's kind of a rough start here if you're Zach. Not really anything to lead into. He does at least have the second Absol here to kind of stall things along, but still, you're not setting anything up. Nah. Ooh, tough choice there. So he was maybe deciding, do I put the energy on this Dino and forego having to use the Roar in Unison? I don't know if it's going to matter, though.
I think you always... I think you always got to attack here on the off chance that he doesn't have Magneton.
You're right.
But,
I think you're right.
You know he's going to go turn 2 Magneton because he's done it, I think, about 7 games in a row now.
Yep.
And he runs Copycat. Yeah, like he has it. Like this Magnezone player might be just unbeatable. Like I don't know. Like Outlaw here just seemingly always has it. Like last game, the draws were unbelievable, dude. Like
that's what I was saying too with this deck. As I don't know how he's managing to find this.
For people watching this doesn't always happen. You don't always get Magnemite turn 1, Magneton turn 2.
And look, I mean, he didn't play a single, not a professor, not a copycat, nothing to even search for it. He's just that guy.
No, he just has them. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, it might be one of those worlds. If we don't see Hydreigon here, like we're you know, I mean we don't. Well, I guess we don't need it this turn.
We can,
but what we can do here again is Cyrus up. We can Cyrus up the Magneton. Oh, I like the absolute
that's
attachment
big
as
too,
well. So that's going to give us an option. So we could Cyrus and then Kalis or Oricorio from the bench like we did last game. But we're not able to attach to the Absol. So again, we're going to be reliant on the Hydreigon regardless.
He can, however,
he's just going to leap over.
If he doesn't get the Magneton here, or the Magnezone, he brings it down to 20 HP.
He's going to have the Magnezone, though.
You're right. What am I? If he doesn't, if for some reason he doesn't, here it comes. Pokeball.
No, like that's what's scary here is like, well, I guess you're living in attack from the Oricorio regardless, right? So,
of course, the inevitable. But he is down to 80 health, so he does die to Mega Absol in.
Yeah, but you have no energies on the Absol.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And at that
without
point,
a Hydreigon, you lose the game next turn.
You're absolutely right. I think he did just lose the game without a Hydreigon top deck. I don't think there's going to be enough damage. He can survive a hit on Absol.
You can go in Absol and not attack.
Oh, the cape is going to prevent that, too. If
this is like cape PCL here. Cape PCL, go to 130. Oh, copy gets big. I mean, so now you're above Mega Absol attack range. None of this matters if you don't rare candy the Hydreigon. Dude, Outlaw here just like it's unbelievable, dude. Like I can't even describe to you how often he's gone Magnezone in 3 turn.
Yeah,
I think it's every time we've watched him.
he hit that Magnezone without hitting the copycat too. Just so everybody is clear on that, he had the whole line without using any sort of hand correction or
the second tournament winning. Wait a minute.
Oh no!
He gave it to him though.
No!
He gave it to him this time. Get the red card to trade him,
and
dude.
a copycat too.
Jeff
So this is gonna be
Hoogland.
huge.
Someone called Jeff Hoogland because he was right.
Yeah.
We doubted him for a minute, but no, he was right the whole time. So now I think the tables are just turned now, and I think Hydreigon might just continuously attack until the game's over. And we can also set up an Absol now on this off turn.
Oh my lord! There's
not a Magnemite on the
switch.
bench. Yo, but didn't this happen last game? And he just like next turn he's gonna like bench Magnemite and then just like somehow
set up a second one.
Didn't the same thing happen? Yeah, isn't that what happened last game?
It is. It is. We got our hopes up, and then all of a sudden a second Magnemite shows up.
Well, it's a very different ball game now. So
we are going to see the copycat. We're going to get 3 more cards out of this.
So Outlaw KO'd double. He KO'd just double leap over Absol.
Both the leapovers, I guess it must have been. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's so funny watching this game because realistically, this is a horrible matchup for Magnezone. It really is. In almost every way, it's just like
I think again, if he wouldn't have gotten lucky finding that turn 2 Magneton,
he should not have won last game.
Yeah, I don't think he would have really stood a chance.
But here's a Magnemite this turn. It just doesn't matter though. None of this matters because you can't get over the Hydreigon hump.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? It's just gonna live and hit. Actually, you do kind of. Here because
so he
it's
has to
hit you.
Yeah, and then the Oricorio. Oh my God, is Oricorio going to take this?
But you can keep. Well, so yeah, you're right, dude, because he's got 2 prizes. The Oricorios will do it because you don't have a second Hydreigon, and both Leap Over Absols have been KO'd. So you might have to go into Absol here, pivot, and then try to discard the Cyrus.
You're right.
And then Rocky Helmet, the active or whatever, and then wait on the second Hydreigon. Because both Leaf Over Absols are gone. They're both just gone.
All right, we're going to see the attack. No helmet going out. He's choosing to save the helmet because I think that's going to come down to a win condition. A full hand.
So we're in the same spot, I think, last game, where it's like if we see the Magnemite this turn, I think he can just win.
He did have Professor, right?
Yeah, if a Magnemite comes down here, we know he has Magneton in hand. Yeah.
No.
So now, he might be. This might be the same thing as last game, whereas if we don't see that second rare candy for the other Hydreigon come out, like now, you just can't win because
what an interesting
because he's just gonna get Magnezone out before you can get Hydreigon out.
Oh my lord! What an interesting series of games. Mega Absol now down to 120.
Oh, this copycat though is gonna be big because how many cards are in his hand? Like, I bench Chingling here. I attach Helmet and I bench Chingling and I just copycat.
Yeah. And if
benching
he hits
Chingling
the
here doesn't
second
matter. It doesn't have
Hydreigon here,
Cyrus.
I think it's game, isn't it? Because the first one's sitting at 40 health, which is enough.
It is. It literally is. Because you don't have a hand disruption. No, bench the Chingling. Why wouldn't he bench the Chingling? I don't know. That's just me.
Might come back to haunt him.
So we need Hydreigon.
Chingling coming back to haunt him.
There it is.
Chingling coming back to haunt him. Oh, no.
No. Chingling, man. He should have done it. Should have benched it. Not that I don't know if it mattered. It might not have mattered. But yeah, no, that's
maybe,
crazy.
But you're right. That's about all it would have mattered. I think in this game, it's not like it necessarily would have been a liability. There's no bench or leap over attack that could hit that Chingling.
Dude, it's somehow back-to-back games these Magnezones have been able to come out. Look at, he's got everything. He's got PCL, Copycat, Magneton, Magnezone. And you're not playing any hand disruption. Somehow back-to-back games, this Magnezone has got out earlier and before. Back-to-back Magnezones have come out before the Hydreigons have come out.
So hear me out. Oh, no, Zach needs another point. Oh, he can't even win this. I was going to say, can't Zach just double Cyrus into this Oricorio here?
You needed...
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed...
Oh, no.
You needed Hydreigon. Because that one Magnezone that came out turn 3 just steamrolled through both of your leap over Absols, and you didn't have Hydreigon that whole time.
And the cape goes out
like,
on
you know
that
what I mean?
Magneton, so that means even a helmet isn't going to be enough to bring it down to Hydreigon level.
He copycats. Oh, because you only get 2 cards. It's over. This game's over. This game is actually over. Even without Cyrus, it doesn't matter because even if you go into Hydreigon, Magnezone will attack. Okay, wait a minute. I might be proved wrong here, but no, I'm pretty sure if he goes into Hydreigon, he's gonna take damage.
He'll be down to 110, and then he's locked in like last game.
And then he can't go into anything else. because Oricorio will always KO
And then
after
he's
this
locked
attack.
in like last game. He
Yeah,
has
it's just
to
literally like,
Oh, see, I think that was the frustration energy wave right there. He didn't know, what do I do? Where do I put this? God dang it. I have to roar in unison. He has nothing left to take a hit. And we know 110 damage is coming his way.
You have to roar, dude.
The good news is he
man.
does have a helmet on this Hydreigon, but again, the cape is going to negate the helmet.
Right. Yeah. It's going to counteract it.
Mm-hmm. And almost
it doesn't
putting
really
that
matter
energy
though, because
there,
like you
kind of a
can't KO the
misplay.
Oricorio. No, well, actually, yeah, you can't stay in because he's just going to Magnezone and KO you. So you have to go in this turn. Yeah, I think we should have played the Chingling so that we needed Hydreigon last turn, but even then, I don't think we would have won.
Very unfortunate end to it here for Zach Wars. It's looking like, I don't know.
No, that's crazy, dude. We were hyping up this matchup. Honestly,
I thought it was over.
I just think it comes down to, I just think it just came down to like that Magnezone came out on turn 3 both games here, and
the card draw on Outlaw's end was
Hydreigon
absolutely bonkers. You're absolutely right there.
Yeah, dude. He just it just worked out for him.
This deck is like, it's like that meme about the snail that just is forever slowly approaching you. And when it gets you, Magnezone is that snail.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I mean, listen, I like Magnezone, but if you're gonna draw cards like this guy has, if you're gonna draw like Outlaw, like you should be playing Magnezone, because
absolutely,
I don't know how this man could ever lose with this happening. He's played correctly. Like I'm not taking anything away from him. He's played extremely well. But this man is on another level in terms of being able to draw correctly.
Wow. And that'll do it, folks.
Magnezone Oricorio,
our winner.
So Oricorio back-to-back tournament winners. And I think that that's just what it is. I think that's where we're at. I think for anybody wondering, to be fair, Oricorio and Magnezone got first place, and got 11th place, and it got 18th place. And other than that, there was no other Oricorio like anywhere in the tournament. So, it's just I wouldn't think too much about it. But Magnezone Oricorio really is pretty well positioned right now to deal with a lot of the major threats. And I still feel like that was a bad matchup for him. The Hydreigon leap over. I still feel like that should have been.
I absolutely agree. I think, again, Outlaw just had so much insurmountable luck on his end. With not like
bad luck
the
as
red
well
card. That red card was a tournament winning red card. It would have been over that turn right there. That second turn, it would have been over with that Hydreigon. But he threw that red card and it managed to win the tournament for him. So, kind of blows my mind.
Back-to-back games, he went what, like 4 turns without Hydreigon for 2 games in a row.
Yep.
Which,
but no, I totally agree. I think the leap over Absol is, even if it did lose, even if it didn't come in first place here, I think the tech of that leap over Absol is amazing. I think it gives you enough stall, having that 80 health, only 1 retreat. It gives you a little bit more stall potential if you don't happen to get that Hydreigon out there, while you're still able to do some sort of threat to the bench. You set up those Cyrus plays for that Hydreigon later on. So I really like that.
Yeah, and I think it's good in the face of like Chingling everywhere right now.
Yes.
Right? So it's like if your opponent is Chingling, like Rocky Helmet, leap over Absol in the active spot is just a little bit more proactive than just like a Chingling is. Whereas like they damage themselves if they attack you, and you're putting pressure on the bench. So like it really doesn't matter. I think that's the big interaction there. Why I like the leap over Absol is just because all of these decks playing Chingling, which would stop your Hydreigons, like you can be proactive both on the active and on the bench, and then it doesn't really matter after the lock disappears. Hydreigon comes out and it's kind of, GG. I think more decks need to play Hand Disruption. It's kind of what I've felt like throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and
like
that's
playing on Mars and red card. Like
that's the problem I've ran into when I'm building decks is I'm like, I don't have room for a Mars or a red card, and then every time I want to replace my Mars or red card for like more greed is how I feel about it. I'm like, the first thing I could probably chop off the deck is a Mars or a red card. But I don't know. Maybe you're right. In decks like that, where if you don't have any sort of deck disruption, you're just letting that Magnezone build up. You're letting them get that Magneton every time. Double Copycat, double Professor it's like an inevitability that they're going to find the cards.
Yeah, but even then too, you got to understand, like you have to lead. You have to get turn 1 Magnemite, right? And like yes, half your deck is Magnemite, but like you're not guaranteed to get it down on
No.
your first turn. Not only that, though, then you need the stage 1 evolution on turn 2, and then not only that, on your third turn, you also need the stage 2 evolution. So that's the only way to attack with Magnezone on turn 3, and he did it back to back.
What's crazy too is he did it that last game with 0 help. There was no professor, there was no copycat. It was just all natural. So
absolutely crazy.
Shout out to Outlaw.
Yep. Congrats, Outlaw, winning Pocketman's Pocket Tournament number 8. He gets the full art Cyrus. We'll communicate. We'll get the prizing out. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do my shout outs. No sponsor this week, but big shout out to all of the players. Shout out to Jay and Midtom and all the whole caster team, the judges, the moderators, everybody that makes the tournament happen. Shout out to everybody that's been watching here on YouTube. Sorry for the difficulties with the stream early on. It wasn't our fault. Just the reality of streaming. It kind of goes that way sometimes. Just a massive shout out to Jay. He did an incredible job all weekend. It's so much time between Swiss, between day 2. I mean, he's given his time for free. So everybody in the chat, big shout out, big W's for Jay. Did an awesome job. It was a ton of fun.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
No, I'm glad to be here. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I apologize for the troubles this morning, guys, the technical difficulties. Looking back at it, I do think it actually came down to my internet because it cleared up on its own without me doing anything. So yeah. I think it was internet related. Again, like apologies. But we managed to at least stabilize towards the end there. Hopefully provide some good games for that top 16. I thought those games past top 16 were awesome. Each one of them, it turned into like an eventful game. Most of them getting to game 3. And yeah, no, excellent gameplay today. Big shout out again to everybody that you mentioned, everybody that helps put these tournaments on, all the viewers as well, all the people casting their games. We got to keep these tournaments going. I'm glad to see this tournament series is like growing. Even it continues to grow every weekend. So love to see it. Hopefully you guys will see me around for more casts. I'm sure you will. Maddie, it was a pleasure. I had a great time casting with you today.
Yes, sir. Well, tons of fun. I need to go to the bathroom because I've been waiting for like 4
the same
hours.
way I'm about to wee my pants. So, all right, let's wrap it up then, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, make sure, Jay, don't do what Taj did a couple weeks ago and like
just end it. No, I won't. Okay.
Let the delay play out because they want to watch this finals
for sure.
Run. There's 1,000 people on YouTube right now. 10 minutes in the future but
in the past,
Yeah, big shout out to everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Ranked, we have another week and a half or 2 until rank comes out. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll again, guys, I guess I'm Jay Dankus. You can find me Twitch, YouTube. Definitely go drop a sub, follow over on Twitch, and I'll see you guys on the live streams. Maddie, we'll see you on the next one, I suppose, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. You guys have a great one.
Bye. See ya.